We lost all those viewers. All right. Chat, you got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Which means Pete's got 3 minutes, and then he must put his pencil down. His exam's over.
No! The exam is never over.
That's for sure.
Until it's over.
Until it's over, and you're lying in the ground, cold.
Yes. Sounds like a normal night for me, to be honest.
Do you often lie in the ground?
A few times. Depends on how much. Well, in years gone by, it would depend on how much I'd been drinking.
All right.
So I just need to get the stream up now, so I actually am on top of things.
I'll let that one slide.
Am I not able to?
Oh, I'm glad you did.
Am I not able to tag everyone anymore? I can't.
Weird.
Oh no!
Oh
Wait,
yeah, it's just at everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I just have to like fully type it out, which is so annoying. But I mean, it's.
Kylie, you've got a bit of an error with this stream where Ciaran is Kylie and you are Ciaran in names.
Yeah, because I usually flip it, but we won't do that today.
I know. I just thought I'd let you know.
What's this? Freaky Friday? Nah, that's no, that's the thing. I've never seen Freaky Friday. The only reason I know what Freaky Friday is because I watch Community.
Yeah.
There's an episode
Bueno.
where, yeah.
Yeah, bueno, Brent.
Bueno, Brento.
So you're not finished typing this out, can I straight up send it to say we're live and all that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, I would say it's my most creative and my most exciting, but there's a lovely pun in here, so.
Okay.
It's
I'll
alright.
catch a look. I'll catch a look.
Let me just finish this up.
Yeah, here's the one that I saw. You probably saw this one earlier as well, Ciaran.
What are we doing?
I posted it in our chat.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's the left notification for us.
Oh, hey, Nana.
Oh, hey, Nana.
Pete.
When you guys were going to start, but hello. Yes, we were originally going to start a little bit later, because I can explain now. I had a party last night that I was organising. Didn't know what time I was going to finish and get back to today after the cleanup. So, but I was earlier than expected, so we were able to go at normal time.
There we go. That's me set my thing. It's not too. Again, it's nothing flashy, but I like the opener. The opener was
I mean, stealing Mike's jokes already. I mean, come on.
There's only so much you can do with Halo, right?
Oh,
like it works. Right, yeah, Pete, that's the one I saw. That when you sent me, that's the one I saw.
Yep.
It's so creative. I love it.
I do. I like it as well. It's funny.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, one of those typical, like, I'm just scrolling through Twitter early in the morning and just see that pop up. I'm like, yeah, that's just what I needed right this morning. Yeah, this is also like, this guy sends out so many memes, but this one is also very, very appropriate.
Chat has said hi to Ciaran, both Nana and Bueno.
Yeah, Ciaran has returned, and also welcome back, Ciaran. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Halo Talk today, guys. You think I'd miss Halo Talk? Considering
Never.
I've had so many thoughts on it. No.
Far too many, probably.
No. I listen, Pete. I can. You want time in this episode? I'll give you plenty of time. Trust me. I will give you hours of me. I mean, right.
Does that also mean that
I've got my rants out the way already because I've already voiced my grievances to my friends already. But I'm also coming with my grievances once again today.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think we all have thoughts on it, don't we? Because we've been playing it, but we'll discuss that obviously more as when we actually do, record. Oh God! Look, I'm getting off Twitter. I don't know why I'm even on Twitter.
Why are you on Twitter on a show?
I know. It's just forced
Right,
habit.
well, we give them.
I'm so tired. All right, I'm just like, ugh.
We'll give people 8 minutes.
Well, we gave them 3 originally, and we went 2 minutes over.
Well, but
we'll give them a bit more.
I say we give them 8 minutes.
was...
That is 10 past we start then, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because then after that we need to wait 15 because as law dictates, we've got to go in 5s, and it's just it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing that we probably should.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys in the chat understand completely.
Yeah. So to our chat, welcome. Hello. How are we doing? How was your Thanksgiving, Brent and Nana? Do you celebrate? I know you're over in the UK.
He's not from the US. They do not celebrate Thanksgiving, but he did make a wonderful pasta dish.
Excellent. Kylie, I want to be inclusive to the chat. I want to ask if they do.
I'm not.
And if they don't, and ho.
I'm very
because I don't. I mean, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'm more than willing to celebrate Thanksgiving.
More's the pity you.
If you're making that damn pecan pie.
Oh, it was wonderful. I both love and regret every second of it.
Regret every second of what?
My pecan pie.
Okay, yeah, because you cut out for quite a long time.
Oh, sorry. It might... my, whatever this thing is called, microphone has been messed with, so...
Yeah. Is it right to... Yeah, I'm
I hit mute. If it falls off during podcast, well...
Then I will have a great time editing.
Yes, you will. Let's see. Brett.
A comment that I could have also said to Ciaran about, I have hours worth of rants.
Oh, yeah.
No, thank you, mate. I just need 2 hours from you.
Brent says, I was full of food through Friday. Yeah, me too, Brent. Me too.
Not surprised.
It was good to see the friend I invited. Oh, you had Friendsgiving. I love that. Football wasn't the best this year, though. I don't watch football.
Yeah. Do I dare ask who your team is?
It better be is it the Cowboys that play every year?
I don't know.
I believe it is.
I actually have no idea because I don't follow American football.
Dallas Cowboys, also specific.
Yeah. Well, I know the teams. I know obviously certain locations like the Pittsburgh Steelers and
Dallas, Texas.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Are they really?
Because I did see their stadium being built whilst I was there, which was cool as hell.
You lose me after the Houston Texans and Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. You just lose me. I don't know any of them.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, the
sports.
Yeah, sports ball. Hooray!
Sports ball.
I mean, I could talk football, but I'm not talking that.
No, I can talk basketball, so.
Oh, I could talk basketball with you as well.
I know a lot about basketball.
We won't bore everyone with a sports ball conversation.
We'll do that today.
Yeah, that's just for next week's sports ball podcast.
Oh, God.
See, I keep thinking that time has passed far quicker than it actually has. I thought we were nearly at 10 past already. Do you know that? I was like, only been 2 minutes.
Maybe you're in a pocket dimension and you're moving faster.
I think it's just
because time is a construct.
Yeah, I think my time's just been moving fast because my days have been consistently writing things for university.
Either that, or you're having a slow day today because you're recovering from a debauched night out.
No, because to be fair, I like to think today's actually gone in quite quick.
Today,
well, maybe not this morning.
Kind of.
I kind of went in quicker this morning because my sore head was just
okay.
I didn't have that much. It's just I don't drink much, so that's why it was just.
Yeah, Brent has said he doesn't have a team. I really haven't cared about football since college. It's just a tradition to watch it on Thanksgiving and hope for good games. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like the same thing with Boxing Day over here with soccer, as you call it, football to us. We just get a plethora of games, like loads of games on. We can just choose. Cool.
I'd rather play them than watch them.
Well, come this year, it's possible that on Boxing Day I might be reliving the old Christmas tradition of going to play football.
All right, and
just
then
with the mates and my brother and my dad.
That's cool, actually. Quite wholesome again. Pete in with the wholesomeness from uptown.
Well, yeah, it used to be Christmas Day, but it can't be Christmas Day this year for some reason.
Pete, did you get a haircut? Did you get a haircut?
I don't know what you're talking about. I had not done such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that noticeable?
Yeah.
So dumb.
You did really short sides.
Really off, but yeah.
What did you ask, Pete? I need to get that.
I like the sides.
What did you ask for?
Short back and sides, little trim on top, so I had about an inch taken off on the top.
So we call it fade. It's my favorite haircut.
Well, actually, it's not a fade. Like, there's a different kind of fade, so you can't see it. So if it was a fade, it would go lighter. And
I love
lighter
fade. I love fade.
Pete, you know, I think Pete, what you really should ask for next time is right, because I think that's perfect, Pete. You look very handsome today, but I think what would make you even more handsome is if you asked to get the Xbox X shaved into the side of your head.
A little X in your eyebrow.
That'd be like super cool.
Absolutely not. Cool. I don't condone to console exclusivities.
Well then, get. But
if it's gonna
PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo in the back.
I was gonna say,
and then eyebrows. You do something with the eyebrows.
Just get the Nintendo logo across the back. You know.
Yeah, Nintendo in the back, PlayStation on the left,
on the side,
and then Xbox on the right. An Xbox on the right because it's the right console to pick when you're deciding what to get at Christmas.
No, bugger off. If anything, on there, but I already own the Switch, so I don't need to make that right decision.
Brent, since...
let's not get started on Xbox Series X again this freaking week because what a palaver that was again.
You'll have one day, Pete. Probably before I do. Brent says,
you've got a Series S. You've got a Series S. Exactly. So you're in the generation already. I'm still sitting here
for the downstairs. I need a Series X for the upstairs.
Look, I know, but that's because I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, I can't keep taking another week of being called a last gen loser by Deadbeat Punk.
Oh my goodness. Oh dear.
Sticks and stones can break your bones, but make sure to never let Deadbeat's words hurt you.
But when it comes from Deadbeat, it cuts hard. It cuts deep.
Show me on the doll where Deadbeat words hurt you. So
right here. Right here.
Very good. Excellent. Brent.
Finally submitted my Game Awards votes. Excellent. Do tell more.
Well,
oh my good wolf. I don't know what happened there. It's just the audio just like spiked for me. I was loud.
Well,
oh my goodness.
Wow, okay, alright.
Apologies, but I don't
speaking of Deadbeat Punk, some speaker's name and he shall appear. Insults took a while to load to that boy.
Because you're on your last gen, takes longer to load.
I'm aware of the joke. I'm aware. I'm just not acknowledging it.
Oh, right. Sorry. It is my duty to acknowledge any and all jokes.
Okay. Well, welcome, Deadbeat Punk. Hello. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. And yes, I am a last gen loser still. Soon.
You sounded so submissive when saying it's like, welcome, Deadbeat Punk. Whereas he just spit on you. Pete's job, he'd spit on you and you're welcome.
Well, he does. He does.
To your chat room. You're welcome in with open arms to your chat room.
Pete goes, spit on me more, spit on me more.
That's all of that. That's it.
Right, will we get this
show cancelled?
Okay, now
we'll
Pete.
give it,
because you are basically the host of today's festivities, are you introing the show?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go full swing. Go full.
There's nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do.
this was a really bad idea after 3 hours of sleep, by the way. So this could be a car crash.
I mean, Pete, as I've said, right, just throw me a question. Tell me to talk about multiplayer, and I'll give you an episode like that. That's it. I'll give you.
Yeah,
I'll do work.
I do love how Nana's just put in the chat. Well, that took a turn.
Did you see what Debbie put in front of it?
Oh my!
I bet they make Thanksgiving porn. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, they probably do. I'm sure they.
Your
homework for tonight, if you choose to accept it, is to find out.
Well, I'm already there. Check and see if there's Thanksgiving porn. What?
If you happen to log into Pornhub.
Ciaran, what were you saying? No. X-Hamster. Ciaran, what were you saying?
Honestly, nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing like this to be.
Yeah.
To be.
Well, let's look into you to save us.
Oh my God, Debbie.
Ciaran.
An obvious but a classic.
Save us. What were you saying?
Yeah, SOS. SOS.
So when you're near me, darling, can't you? How did I forget lyrics? That's embarrassing. I forgot ABBA lyrics.
Oh yeah, now you must be burned at the stake.
I've got it in my head, but no point in doing it now because it's wasted.
I say nothing about ABBA. I will say nothing at all.
The new album was alright. There's some few bangers in there, but some of them are like, yeah.
Fine. You've coerced me into saying the thing that I should probably never say because this could ruin me.
Oh.
Yeah, back away, Kylie. Back away very quickly. I'll give you 5 seconds before I turn around and I say, I don't like ABBA.
How do you, Pete? I feel very under attack right now.
I can appreciate their music and what it does.
They make everyone happy.
I'm just not a fan of it. I don't.
But they come on in a party and everyone smiles and knows all the words.
Yeah, they were on a party last night and I was singing along to it. Yeah, I know the songs.
Who can bring the world together?
There's always something in the air when the songs get played.
Now you've recovered it. There you go. You were waiting for your redemption moment. You got it.
Oh, the thing is, right, I made another ABBA reference before that clearly nobody else noticed, but I'm sure.
Not.
So it's some lucky and very well-educated listener or viewer will have picked up on it, and to you, sir, madam, or general human being, I salute you. I respect you.
Brent has asked any good Black Friday deals. Didn't buy anything for Black Friday this year.
I'm going to check because I need to. I think I found out the problem why my PC's not as fast as I needed to be. And I think it's because I needed some more RAM.
Okay.
Because one of my buddies said to me, "Oh, how about why don't we download Age of Empires 4 and we'll play that?"
Oh, yeah.
I was like, sure. And the weird enough, because I was like, my games have been running like slower than I expected. I thought it was my processor, even though my processor's like actually quite alright.
Mm-hmm.
And then Age of Empires 4 told me, "Oh, you do not have enough available RAM to play this at kind of optimal levels." Essentially, and I was like, "That's interesting. You've told me that.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that." So I'm thinking of getting like a slot of 8 gig of RAM, so I can bump up to 16.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm 8 just now, so. The problem is my motherboard is also very old, so.
That's going to need an upgrade at some point then.
Yeah, the PC's going to need an upgrade, but I'm putting it off as long as I can.
Sure.
Hopefully when I get a job once I finish up university in April, and I can then feel comfortable enough to spend cash and get a new computer.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully so.
Shall we begin?
Kylie?
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. I was running a little sound test there. I needed everyone to just make sure they were talking. So
I can't read minds yet, Pete.
Well, that's why I was just saying. Kylie, it was a cue for you to go. Yep, I'm fine.
Remember, autistic.
The recording
don't get cues.
Right, 2 seconds.
I do not get cues.
And we'll start. 1 minute.
Tell me, chat, what you guys been up to? Let me know.
Eating all the food ever.
See, I've got a Twitch up on my phone. but I can't actually see how many people are in.
According to my data, 7 viewers, which is pretty good. Did you mean to say you looked at houses, Brent? Or viewed houses?
Why say more words when less words save time?
Yes, there you go.
Something, I can't remember the exact quote.
Oh, house sat.
House sat.
Okay.
Okay, that would be interesting to go back and listen to on the stream later and see what was said, because I have not a clue.
Oops, Pete's back. Stop talking about him.
Fell off the Hades wagon again.
Alright.
Fell off the Hades wagon. Does that mean you got lost in Hades? You know, that's very easy to do. Or do you mean you get put off Hades?
Or he's put it on quick resume again.
My life is quick resume Hades.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he said last time, I think.
Hades is truly remarkable.
Hades is good. It's good.
It's fun from what I played of it, but it was only very short, very brief. But
you have to keep going through it.
Oh, I know, it's just
it's just not your style.
I went to. It's not my style, but I did play it for probably about 5 minutes, and then I got called up about playing some other games with you guys, so I couldn't go back to it. Then Halo came out, and I needed to clear space on my hard drive. So yeah.
Which we will be talking about here shortly. Stick around.
By shortly, I hope you mean 3 minutes as well.
I do too.
We are 10 minutes over.
We will. Sorry. Look, sorry. I had to go and just. I'm too overly cautious now when it comes to files because I've had so many incidents recently that I just.
Better to be too cautious than not cautious enough.
Yeah, exactly. I've been very slack with that over the last 20 plus episodes.
You've been slacking off.
Come from Queen Slacker herself.
Well.
I mean, Deadbeat could be addicted to worse. You know. That's the way I see it. You could be addicted to worse, like I don't know, Call of Duty.
Heroin.
Yeah, it could be Vanguard.
Yeah,
or Battlefield 42. 2042.
Some violent plague of the sorts.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be a lot worse of an addiction. I mean, being Irish, you probably know a fair few things about addictions.
What's that supposed to mean? What kind of stereotype is that?
Racial stereotypes. And then, as he's
you tell me where the lie is, though.
I don't even know what you mean. That's the thing. I don't know what you mean.
Deadbeat likes to drink.
Oh, Sencho! Look at that. Hello, Sencho.
Wow, hello. Who's woke? I didn't recall being woke.
I'm still in bed, asleep. I'll never be woke. I'm a sleeping beauty. Yes, Deadbeat!
What a lovely pairing, Deadbeat. I hope you do enjoy yourself. Well, do not condone.
Yeah. What's that thing that people say on the internet? I disavow.
Oh, disavow. That's about spies.
Yeah, I disavow that comment. I can't condone it.
Oh goodness. Why does only?
Because that
what
is
are
true.
You saying, Sencho? Just what are you saying?
Because that might actually be true that Ciaran's had the most amount of sleep out of all of us.
The actual trick is I've got the Fountain of Youth in a wooden well at the back garden.
Fuck off!
Lucky for some. That's why you never look like you've aged a day.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's like, I'm actually like 105 or something.
Sweet. Whereas I'm actually 21. And I'm well over that.
I can tell. See that slick haircut? Like, yeah.
It's a nifty haircut.
I'm not lying, I mean...
That's it. That brings the age down immediately.
It does, actually. And
I mean, God forbid the next time I go into a supermarket to try and buy alcohol, I'm gonna get carded so hard.
I still get carded.
Yeah, so do I.
When I was out last night, one of my friends get ID'd for the first time in ages, and I didn't. And I was like, wow. I was always the one to get ID'd when I turned 18.
Oh my god.
Oh, I always love that when you get that one person who's like looks more youthful than you gets carded. It's so funny.
I get carded all the time.
Especially when one of your friends at the time, like many years ago, decides to turn up to a pub with a birth certificate as his form of ID.
Look, some of us have to do stuff like that. Yeah.
You got to respect it.
Yeah, but it's dumb as hell.
I had to do that at a casino. Let's see.
Pete, how are we on
Really?
the?
Yeah, we're gonna crack on now. So yeah.
Pete's hosting, by the way.
That's why I'm stalling.
Yeah, exactly.
Again,
that's why I'm not.
Fine, and if you need
support, emotional support, you got Ciaran over there.
You got me.
Yeah, because I know
about
yeah, I don't provide emotional support. That's not in my programming.
I didn't. I didn't want the emotional support, but I can foresee you sort of going. See, hosting's not that easy, is it?
Point and laugh. Look at Pete. Anyway.
Well, when was the last time I did that? Oh wait, I do it all the time.
What? Point and laugh?
Not point and laugh, but just take the piss out.
I was gonna say, I'm the type of person, if I fall in public, please point and laugh. I will feel like it was for nothing.
Look,
for naught.
No, to be honest, I'll help you up, make sure you're okay first, then point and laugh.
Yes, with laughter.
So long as someone hasn't caused serious injury, then I can feel.
Even if I had a bone sticking out, it has to be worth it. Laugh your ass off.
Because then I'm too busy going.
Well, there is that. All right, Pete. I'd
rather the person be okay first, and then I can take the mickey. So, right, okay. So we are recording. So I'm gonna start the show in tres, unos. Yeah. Welcome everybody to episode 102 of the Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast. I am unusually your host for today, Pete Beck, and I am joined by my ever-present usual host, but now co-host today, Kylie Wild.
Hello.
I was going to say audio format.
I know, I forgot.
And this is why she hosts the show, so she can remember that.
I don't get social cues.
And we are joined by previous co-host, returning guest, Ciaran Mcginn. How you doing,
Thank you, Pete. I like. You sounded very much like Jeff Goldblum opening the show. It's like, hi, I'm your unusually. You know, I think it's a lovely opening, Pete.
Okay, I'm trying. Look, the meme.
Oh no!
It's me.
Oh no!
All right.
Oh no! The image in my head. I think you all know it. Oh no!
Do not. Anyway, not saying a thing at the moment because we have a show to continue with. So, Kylie, how are you doing today?
I am great and fantabulous, which is not a real word. And
no, but creation of words. Great.
Yes, but no word. All words are made up. There you go. No, I'm what?
Well, they would have had to have been at some point in the past. So
exactly.
That was get their origin somewhere. So
that was a joke.
Yeah. So actually, before we got into the main topic, I think I want to take a few moments to have a check of some people and their mental health.
Well,
because
wait.
We've been back on that recently.
We should check it with Ciaran first, I think. I know, I'm taking control again. I know.
You've not even asked what I've been up to, my week's been like, and I'm like...
I'm being a control freak again.
We are getting to that, my friend.
Alright, do you want me to go ahead, or do you wanna
I will carry on, don't you worry about that. So, we are gonna have a few minutes just to reflect on the week, the previous week, because I think a few of us have been a little bit stressed out, a little bit upset with ourselves. So
yeah,
and we've been very, very slack about we've got this. So let's take a few minutes in the lead up to the craziness of the Christmas period and the previous craziness of the Thanksgiving holiday and all that whatnot for the American listeners. So, Ciaran, my man, how's your week been?
It's been all right. Just uni work and going to uni and uni work, really, which is going well. So I've got 3 assignments due at the same time, which is forced me to get my butt in gear. Let's say I was going to use another word, but I know.
But it's a Sunday.
Yeah. So I've got one of them done. The plan is to get the second one done this week. Then the journalism one I need to do for that class. That's a whole other one to do because it's just annoying me, that one. But no. So I've done a little short story. Or I say a little, it's like 2,700 words, and it's great. I changed my idea because I did start writing one. I was honest with myself and said this is utter, but it's too bad. And then I came up. I had an epiphany when I was going to bed, as I usually do. I say I'm like a prophet when it comes to like 12 o'clock at night. I just have visions, and then I started putting these ideas down, and I was able to write out a full short story in space like 2 hours. And then I sent it to my tutor, who then said, "This is good," and I'm like, "That's all I need to know." So yeah. And other than that, the only thing that's really got me down is the fact that I've finally finished watching Arcane Season 1 on Netflix, and now life is meaningless.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
yes. I didn't
honestly,
think that you'd watch that.
Of course. Huh?
I didn't think you'd watch that. It didn't strike me as
Oh,
your
neither
type.
did I. That's the thing. I've never once played League of Legends. I've never had the interest in League of Legends in it at all. But I saw it was like getting really good reviews, and it was in
the animation is amazing.
It was in like the kind of top 10 most watched things in the streaming service. So I was like, I'll give it a watch. I'll give it a watch too. It's like, and honestly, I think it's
exactly essential.
It's easily one of the best television series you will watch in your life. I'm adamant in that fact. I'm adamant in the fact it's maybe not because I don't want to go as far to say it's like my favorite series of all time, but it's up my top 10 easily. It's like everything about again, and like even outside of its animation, right? Because animation, it's like really good. I think it was IGN said it is like setting a new standard for animation the same way Into the Spider-Verse done so.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's incredible. But beyond that, just the writing, the characters, like everything about it is so good, and the soundtrack as well. Oh my god, like it is damn near perfect. I go as far to say season 1 of Arcane is perfect, and with the announcement season 2 is now in production, I've got my fingers crossed that season 2 will be on our screens this time next year. I think it was meant to come out last year, but the pandemic pushed it. I think that was the whole thing.
You'd like to think with an announcement of the next season, like so soon after the first season come out, that they already were in pre-production for it anyway. So
yeah, because I think the teaser trailer for season 2, the character there's like character voice lines like teasing what will be happening. So the fact they actually got those lines recorded, you know what I mean? It's like good to see. Watch it essential. Honestly, it is. Oh,
yeah. I no spoilers here. Haven't seen it. I don't have Netflix. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Kiley. Thank you.
Yeah. Remind me.
There's your reminder. But speaking of which, how was your week?
What, my week?
Yes, your week.
Is that my cue to do? We got this.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is.
See, remember, I need things spelled out. I'm not very good at that.
Well, Kylie, I thought the question of Kylie, how was your week, was enough.
But you already asked me that.
I'm going on again. Like, tell me what.
Okay.
Whatever. Just do something.
Please no, audience. I'm just messing with Pete right now. He's really tired.
I've had 3 hours of sleep. I organised a goddamn surprise party for a friend, and I was cleaning nearly all night. So
he's an easy target.
Yeah, at least I can still speak English.
I mean, you certainly can't speak Spanish, as you proved at the start of this recording.
Doesn't matter.
I speak Simlish. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, we talked about that before. No, I just wanted to do a very, very brief, and we're talking very brief. We got the second way because we haven't been streaming on Fridays. Fridays, which will return. Don't worry. And I have noticed, not just with myself, of course, but other members of RRUK, other people on Twitter. I don't know. It's a tough time of year. It is a tough time of year. It should be. Well, no. Let me back up a little bit. We are told to believe that it should be a time of mirth and merriment, and when it doesn't manifest, you feel a little bit guilty, like, oh no, what's wrong with me, blah blah blah. But the truth is, it is tough on some people. And really, this is just a reminder, a very, very brief reminder, that if you are going through a tough time, reach out to something. Like the Samaritans, if we've mentioned many times on here. I have friends that volunteer there, and it is an amazing service. But if you're in the U.S., there are various things. Don't ever be embarrassed to reach out to those. They're anonymous. They really don't ask questions. They're there to be kind of like So you can shout in the void, but not feel alone in that void, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's what they call a listening service.
Yeah, Pete's more familiar with it, because Pete's all qualified and shit. Stuff! I said stuff! I said stuff!
You're allowed one. There's our one. We're now at PG-13.
Everyone gets one, Peter.
Wait, hang on. That's the wrong quote, because it was Spider-Man who said it.
Oh, dang it. That's right. Wait, but...
Yes, but he
never
says
it to Peter, doesn't he? Okay, anyway, we're distracted as usual.
Always.
This is why we need Ciaran around. He helps.
Moving along.
Yes. No, this is, again, just a reminder. It's okay to feel off during this time period. Do not feel like you have to performative happiness, if you're going through a tough time. And there are many, many services out there that are designed just for that. And so this is really just what you're feeling? Totes norm. But you can get help if you need it. And don't feel weird about it.
And basically to anyone that's not 15, it's okay to feel like that.
Look, I'm saving time!
I know.
With my language.
Yeah. Yes, but it took more time to explain it.
Yes, but that's on you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It probably is.
No, but I will say, I know that I'm not hosting, but I can't help it. I have control issues. So I just want to thank everyone in chat for showing up today. It's really, really good to see all of your, I was going to say faces. I can't see your faces, but to see all of your names. See all of your words. I love words. Give me all the words. Yes. And we're going to have a really good time, and I'm going to let Pete take over now. Wait, Pete, did you talk about your week? Please tell us about your week.
Not much to report other than I had a surprise birthday party to organise over the last couple of months. It's been incredibly stressful, but the reaction of the person we threw it for was an absolute...
That's what I want to know.
Perfect. So it was wicked. It came off
without a hitch.
He had no clue what was going on, so always for the better. It was a good night. I'm not a party person, so I spent the majority of the time serving drinks to everyone.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Cleaning up, and by the time it hit 11:30, I was just tired as all heck. So I just bumped to the chair, chatted to everyone, and then I was still awake at 3:30. I was like, yeah, okay, well done.
Did you have a little bow tie on when you're serving people as well? I didn't really feel...
And nothing else?
I did not. I thought that would be horrifying for every person involved, so including my partner. So, yeah, I decided against it. But I did put a nice shirt on, so...
Well, there you go.
We see you're talking people, were you asking them if you think you'd look cool with the Xbox X shaved into the side of your head and the Nintendo logo shaved?
No, because unfortunately that conversation only came up pre-recording, so...
Yes, that's what's fun about it.
I think it should have came up much earlier.
It probably should have done, but I didn't think about that last night. Otherwise I couldn't ask for opinions.
For reference, audio listeners, Pete already has the PlayStation 1 shaved into the left side of his head, so he really needs to complete the set.
Yeah, because he's a Sony pony. We all know this.
That's about 33% accurate.
I know, Pete, I'm taking over again. Just tell me to stop, but I'm not gonna stop. Sincho, I really like. I really like what Sincho has said, which is even joining in some community on a Discord server about your favorite game and starting/joining a conversation on there can help take your mind off the holiday craziness. Yes, I want 100%. To reiterate that, because some of us out there, myself majorly at the top of that list, are overthinkers. I think too much. My mind does not stop. It does not stop unless I'm rowing or drinking. But talking to like-minded people about, let's say, video games, because that's one of my interests, can temporarily relieve that and get you out of that holy crap, I've thought about the universe too much moment. Yeah. So, yes, find a group. I know, and it's weird. It's weird because some of us are not social. I get that too. I really, really do. But even not being a social person, sometimes just talking about freaking Destiny. If I can find somebody to just talk Destiny, then I'm like... Yeah. Days brightened, and I'm full of hope. So, yes.
Let me take this moment to iterate, obviously, on this point there, currently Rapid Reviews UK has a public Discord
Yes.
in which we have a Halo Infinite room where we can join with like-minded people. So
Which we're going to talk about later today.
And in 10 million years when we finally get forwards, we can do some custom games and like cool game modes.
There you go. So
I'm gonna have so much
will
fun
be in
with
the
that.
description of the show. So feel free to join the
It fits our theme.
and find some Spartans.
Hell yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, you like that one, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Anyway, with that segue, let's move on to the show, shall we?
Brent just won today.
That will be £1 million paid directly into my bank account. Thank you very much. And then I might be able to grease Mike. I say might.
How would you go about greasing Mike?
£50,000.
No, grease him up.
It's not what I meant, but let's carry on.
I like this direction.
I am deflecting.
Let's go. I like this direction.
Let's not.
Let's grease up Mike.
Anyway.
I get to make all the jokes today, people. I am not hosting, so strap on and strap in.
This was a really bad idea, but we're going to continue with it anyway. So today we're going to talk about Halo Infinite because obviously revealed on the 20th anniversary live stream a couple of weeks ago, they announced that Halo Infinite would go, the multiplayer aspect would go live for everybody, being a free-to-play game. But I'm going to take this moment to say, haha, mofos. I was correct by saying they were launching this in beta.
How did I know? That was on my list of things that Pete's going to bring up. The fact that he was correct.
I mean, right, Pete, as correct as you are, it's a cover-up. Let's be honest. This was a precaution. The name was a precaution.
I know we're getting to that. I just wanted to tease that. Anyway, so they released this in beta phase, and we, the three of us, have all been playing, whether or not it's separate or together at times. And we have been joining up with other members of the RR UK community as well for some sessions. So shout outs to those who have been involved in those, including Mike.
And Chloe for rescuing our booties the other night.
Yep, Chloe as well. And if I'm forgetting any name... Oh, Stephen Brown, who joined me, Ciaran and Alicia for a couple of games as well. So there's been a few of us. It's been great, and it's been an active community. Deadbeat Punk, we will get together at some point and play it.
I would like to beat Punk. Deadbeat Punk.
That's fated, my friend. We will meet on the battlefield one day.
So, I want to take this moment quickly just to sort of gauge how you feel about the beta itself, or the multiplayer aspect of it, at least from what you've played. I know there's been a lot of talking points. So, Kylie, I want to start with you on this one. What's been your general impressions?
Oh, okay.
You weren't expecting that, was you?
No, I was. It's just that you're going to see a very big contrast today here, folks. I don't have much to say, and I have a feeling, only because he said it, Ciaran has a lot to say. I'd love to say that was my intuition, but no, Ciaran has said he has a lot to say. I do not have that much to say. Mine's very... Oh, deadbeat. No, concentrate. Okay, yeah. So... Okay, no, dead air. Okay, so what I have to say is very straightforward because that's how I do. My impressions are 343 is trying to attain something worthwhile and lasting, but they don't have the experience behind it. There is a lot. All right, so Destiny is very compelling for one reason. They know how to...
There's the first mention of Destiny during this whole discussion. I'm going to take count.
Bite me. It's going to come up a lot. Which is for those who don't know at home, Destiny 2, which is like my obsession right now, is produced by Bungie, and yes, it's Ciaran's fault. Has been created and started by Bungie, who originally were the creators of Halo, but there is a lot of things when you go into a game, a live service game, which is what I think Halo is going to try to be. There's a lot of psychological things you need to do in the background to get people hooked and to keep them interested. Bungie pulls this off. Chef's kiss beautifully. They know how to hook you with a good story, they know how to hook you with emotion, and they know how to hook you with lore. And let's face it, their rewards, you know, on Battle Pass and stuff, are enticing. You want them, you desire them. So I got the Battle Pass for Halo because, fill this in for our listeners, in case you didn't know, I am actually a huge Halo fan, but we're talking old school. I kind of dropped off after Halo 4. Halo 4 was very, like, Halo 3 is the top, and then Halo 4 is just under it. But Halo 5 just killed it for me. But I will always have that love of the whole franchise. And I love Halo 3's multiplayer. It's where I got started in multiplayers. So having said that, there is a little bit of brand loyalty there. So I bought the Battle Pass for Halo. I know we'll get into it later, so I'm not going to touch on it too much, but the XP system, I hate it with a passion of 1,000 suns. Even though they've kind of tried to make it better, it's not doing it for me personally. So last night I thought about this. Like, what is it about Halo Infinite specifically that I just don't feel the drive. I don't feel the draw. And, you know, compare and contrast with Destiny, where I can just pop right in, even on the multiplayer. So I think I've narrowed it down to this. Halo Infinite is a lot of fun when you're with friends. It has no fun for me when I am not with friends, because it's very team oriented, and the rooms that I've been thrown in are not, it's very individualistic. They're trying to accomplish their daily tasks or their weekly tasks or whatever. Whereas I'm trying to play, and my objective is to win. That's my objective at everything. So the aspect for me is that it's just not fun. It's not fun. And everybody's talking about how fun it is, and I can't find the fun unless I'm with friends. And then it's very fun for me. But then if the friends aren't in that lobby, poof, just evaporates into the ethereal air. And then I also do not feel that their rewards, specifically on this season, are worth it. There's nothing to them. They don't enhance anything. They don't look good. The only one that looks good to me, now again, this is personal opinion, is they're doing a Fiesta challenge, which I think ends today. Pete,
might do. I can't remember when it ends.
And it has an armor set that, yes, I'm very interested in. But then that ends, and we go back to just slogging away for nothing. For, like, color palettes, which I think they're trying to do shaders like Bungie does, or Destiny 2. And which I love. I absolutely adore the whole shader thing. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't know why I do not feel the same about the color palettes with Halo that I do with, like, I'm obsessively collecting shaders and Destiny, and I hate everyone. They're keeping count. They're legit keeping count. But anyway, I've rambled long enough, but really that's the long and short of it for me. Is I don't find the multiplayer fun unless I'm with friends. And I don't like the XP progression, even now that they've updated a bit. And I don't like the reward systems. Now, having said that, holy crap, do you think I'm not excited about the campaign? Holy crap, yes I am. I'm dying for that campaign.
We'll get to the campaign.
I know, I just want to throw that out there for our audience.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I know Kieran's got a lot to discuss with this one, so I will let him go in a moment. I just want to have a moment to just say that I have genuinely enjoyed what I've played of Halo so far.
What about...
Except
I'm taking...
system. Except that progression system. The progression system has annoyed the living pee out of me. I am so... considering how much I've played it, and I will kind of mirror your sentiments here. It's been more fun to play it with friends than it has been to play on my own. But that progression system is not making me want to keep playing it. It's making me just want to stop.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to discuss that more, but I definitely want to hear from Ciaran. Ciaran, you're in the dark, by the way. But
you might want to turn a light on, my friend.
Embrace the light. You're full of the darkness and... Okay, no, that's another Destiny reference. But
that's six.
I hate everyone. But I do think Sincho has a really good point that applies to this. And then we'll let Ciaran talk because he has a lot more thought out, nuanced point than I do.
Yeah, because I'm generally going to stay out of this conversation as much as possible. I just wanted to let it be known that I'm not biased in this one.
Oh, right.
I do like the.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm not completely enamored still.
That makes perfect sense.
Sencho put, oh my god, I had that problem in other games where they give you an objective that makes people go out of their way to play against the objective, which is the dumbest way of going about it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They should give it that will make you play better as a team. It's another one of these games, I feel, that's just, you need to be in a squad with people or a fire team.
You do, because...
to be able to coordinate well, because those are the games that when I've lost badly because of it.
Well, my thing is this, and I promise I'm going to shut up, is, like...
I've been trying for 102 episodes to shut you up. You think it's going to start now?
Anyway, so, Destiny, yes, I mentioned it again.
7.
They have bounties that you do, weekly bounties, and they have objectives in them. But for some reason, I more feel when I'm playing that, the bounty is not the sole focus. If it's something that if I get it done while I'm doing these things, or I'll remember, oh yeah, I have to do one extra finisher, to complete this bounty. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Halo, it seems to be the 100% sole focus of some people, and it's distracting. Now, I am going to shut up now, and we'll hear the dulcet tones of Ciaran.
Anyway, Ciaran, same question goes to you, my friend, as being the host today. I should ask, how do you feel about this beta so far?
Right, well, Pete. First of all, how much do you want me to give you? Because
I need
to know what I need to save for the other question. Really.
Okay, I just want you
right now.
I shot my entire shot in one talk.
If you want me just to give us something, I can just give you a summary.
I'm not going to say summary because Kylie went on a big old rant about it. So just briefly detail your experiences, what you found positive and what you found negative.
Right. Well, first off, I'm going to say I think it's very dangerous to start giving comparisons right now, especially to Destiny, which has been out for years, and they have refined that process over years since 2014. So that's a big thing to remember. At the same time, the live service model has been around for years now as well, so you'd think they'd have done it better, but I'm going to say, I'm sure we'll bring that up later on as well, so I'll not go too much into that. In general, though, I think this is the best Halo's played in years. Dare I say this plays far better, much more enjoyable than Halo 3 ever did, at least in a modern context, because Halo 3, when I go back and play Halo 3 in the Master Chief Collection, I think it feels so slow. I know his whole point was that Halo was kind of one of the last of that kind of breed of traditional arena shooter, right? Where there wasn't sprinting, there wasn't all of that. But as time's gone on, shooters have become more fast paced, and I think it had to match that. Halo 5 did try and match it in the wrong way. That Halo 5, the problem with Halo 5 was just made it inaccessible, I think, because the movement system was more complex than it really needed to be.
I agree.
But I saw the chat.
Just got you
and whereas one thing I keep seeing about this one is that this is a really accessible Halo, at least in terms of playing it and being good at it, because the movement system is so rudimentary. It is see if you don't sprint. If you do not sprint, you're basically playing a a traditional Halo. Just it's a slightly faster paced, and I do mean slightly, like, not that noticeable, but it's like you can tell.
I agree.
But the
with
addition
that,
of like
actually.
sprint is nice because it just does
Mhm.
bring it up to date. I feel.
I will agree
Yeah.
with you on that absolute
I,
aspect.
I,
Yeah.
I will agree because I went back to playing Time Splitters 2 because it got
Oh.
added to backwards compatibility, and you can't sprint in that game.
Mhm.
Even though the game is already fast enough as is, it's still slower than modern shooters.
Yeah. It's like
Mhm.
if they were to just emulate the same movement system from the originals, it just wouldn't have
I
worked.
will agree with
In a
that.
modern
Yeah.
context, it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can't have had a
obviously-
movement system like in
Yeah.
Halo 3 like now, could you? Like,
I mean,
so-
even before Bungie jumped the gun and like abandoned Halo for Destiny, they started introducing sprint to Halo before they left in the
Yeah,
form of
because
like, armor abilities. You know,
yeah,
they knew themselves that something had to be done to update the system.
that was in Reach, right?
Reach, yes.
Yeah.
It's Halo Reach introduced the armor abilities. There's armor abilities in this, but that's all I think. In general, though, I think this is the best Halo's felt in years. It is
Okay.
incredibly fun to play when you're winning. It is infuriating when you're playing a match and your teammates don't understand the objective or don't care for the objective. I like to think I believe it's the former, to be honest.
I'm going to insert in here. I am going to do an insert for our audience. Ciaran is very good. He has a very good KD ratio. He always carries us. So this is the type of different points of view you're getting. You're getting someone who's very, very good at what he does, and someone like me who sucks at PvP.
and someone like me who doesn't play FPSs.
I'm currently making my way up the ranks in ranked as well. I'm currently Diamond 1 in ranked. So I'm hoping to get to Onyx, but that's a while. But that's the thing, right? It's more infuriating when playing ranked and people don't play objective in ranked, where to get up in ranked you need to win.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's even more infuriating, honestly. It's like quick play, I can understand it, because quick play, like, it's just there to shoot people, really. I feel enough. It's still annoying, but if you're in ranked and you're not playing the objective, which is the whole point of ranked, that's a whole of kettlefish that I'm not going to get into right now. But no, I think the guns feel great as well. I think the assault rifle is exceptional. I'm pretty sure they nerfed it though, which is sad.
Which one?
Which one? We get to that a bit later.
Yeah, because I have a favorite gun now.
I have thoughts about some of the weapon balancing, so I did have a question about that later.
Good.
And also, just as a kind of closing blade for this, I suppose, as well, I do have a lot more to say, obviously, but I'm just saving it. I am right to give you statistics as well. I am currently level 31 in the battle pass. I've not spent a dime either. And also, just to put this into perspective, I completed every single one of my weeklies on reset, which was Tuesday night. So in the space of like 2 hours, I got like 15 levels.
See,
oh my God.
That's what I do on Destiny.
But see, that's the thing, right? What I will say, that is because I solely focused on getting my challenges done. When I see those challenges, I'm like, I'm gonna get these done. So I'd optimize my play,
But do you do that at the expense of your team?
I mean, right, I still had a few wins. I mean, unless it's Fiesta, because Fiesta is just a bloodbath.
Oh, Fiesta's fun as heck. Okay.
I really liked Fiesta. I was liking Fiesta the other day.
So it's infuriating in Fiesta where you can get any gun, but it still gives you a pistol and battle rifle.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But no. So like, the Fiesta challenges were pretty easy, except for the kill sequence, like the last one to do. It was so annoying. But I mean, what I'll do is I'll save this from we get onto the battle pass stuff, because I'll explain exactly. I'll give you a live guide on how to optimize your leveling. Because honestly, I like to think I was very organised on Tuesday night, and that's what got me through it.
I'm all ears for that one, because I am on level 3 and I have the battle pass.
It does about literally just paying attention and using certain things. But yes, we'll move on.
Okay.
But yeah, generally this is the best Halo's felt in years, and yeah, it's I think out of the shooters I've played this year, you know, I've played Battlefield. I've not played Call of Duty, but I've not had good things. I've played Battlefield, and Battlefield just isn't. It's just not as good. Halo is just outright fun, and I think it's an exceptional first-person shooter, even if it isn't beta, which was a safeguard. Let's be real. They're calling it beta because they're worried that something's going to go wrong, which thankfully it didn't. Well, there's things that went wrong. That's
Well, to be fair, that does actually lead on to my next question, which does this really feel like a beta, or is this actually the full and complete multiplayer experience?
It's the same way that Fortnite was in beta for like 3 years.
Early
Like,
access. Early
yeah,
access.
I think I was talking about this a while ago with some of my friends of mine. Like, as much as it's called a beta, I think that was like safeguard for them to say
Yeah,
like this is a beta. So if something goes wrong, just know it's not finished. You know what I mean?
you feel like that is a symptom of obviously how bad the Master Chief Collection came out when it was released?
That's not really. I think I was thinking more general scale because you think about a lot of the games that I feel more recently anyway. Games are releasing in a state that isn't as perfect as it was, like say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I think that's just symptomatic of the fact that these games are require more to make, and they're just far more complex than games used to be.
Yeah.
And that's why they come with problems like connectivity issues. I think were the big ones for some. As Aspect killed Outriders. No, Outriders got an update, so
yeah, it did, and
Outriders got a big overhaul. So I recommend going and check it out again because I did, and it's actually quite good. But aside from that, no, yeah, it's like Massive Collection is a good point actually. So it could be that they are learning from that as well. I didn't think about that more specifically, but yeah.
Yeah, because you have to remember at the time, 343 had taken over the series from Bungie. They made this promise that they were going to re-release like every single game in a not much more polished state, but in a collection where you could play every single game online still. And it didn't work well for them, and it ruined their reputation for a fair while, which is why I think they've taken a good long while to try and get Infinite out the door. Aside from building a whole new engine for it as well, that takes time. And
definitely.
getting familiar with that engine was clearly something that was a symptom of why that was delayed by a year, because let's be honest, we saw the results. It was not pretty at all. There was poor optimization. It's not well done.
I mean, Craig was pretty.
Craig is pretty now.
Craig
No.
has always been a star in my galaxy.
Craig is an absolute chad of an individual now. He's gone from alpha male to sigma male. Really?
Oh my gosh. Oh, Sigma, the
alpha male to sigma
nerd.
male.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, you can't say he's gone from alpha to beta, is it?
No, Sigma's
he was never a beta. I was going to say he's gone from beta to
I
alpha.
know. It was trying to make the joke that the game's in beta now, alright?
Oh, sorry, Pete.
Yeah.
That's very good. That was good.
All
that
right.
was good. You did good.
Yeah. So that leads me on to a sort of a minor question, really, about the netcode of this, because you know me, I like to hammer on about netcodes and how they are important in this day and age.
It's
considering they're cutting multiplayer features from the co-op. Obviously, online multiplayer is a huge thing for them. So, Kylie, how have you fared so far with connectivity? Have you had any issues, or have you just not like that?
No, I was looking at Deadbeat. But no. All Craigs are beautiful. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. No, honestly, when it comes to connectivity, the last game that we played, which was, what day was that, Pete?
That would be Friday.
Okay.
Friday night.
Okay. I did notice, I don't want to call it lag. I don't know that that's the right terminology.
Frame skipping.
Maybe that. Yeah, that's more accurate.
What, where they were jumping about, they were teleporting. Yeah, frame skipping.
It was almost as if they were teleporting, and that really was aggravating very much. And I checked to make sure all my connections were good. I was at top, connectivity level. I've got, not bragging here, but I've got decent internet. I pay lots of money for it. And so I was very annoyed at that aspect. But I don't know. I think that's going to happen with any online game. That's going to happen. So I'm not going to fault 343. I'm not going to fault Microsoft. And I'm not going to fault Halo for that. But that's the only time since we've been playing and we got to play the whole invite thing. I was going to call it beta, but we're still in beta. Yeah, the closed beta, which was smooth as a frickin' butter silk.
Yeah, I was quite surprised about how smooth it was even in that stage. So it seemed a lot more further along than I think we thought.
I'm going to agree with Sincho right here. He said the biggest question is, do you play on Wi-Fi? And if so, stop it. Yeah, I actually... No,
I do not.
I personally, no, again, everyone's different, but I personally have to play on a wired connection for multiplayers because, and maybe it's just a mental thing. It just makes me feel better knowing that it's a steady connection, type thing.
I know it has nothing to do with Halo, but I even bought a USB to Ethernet
Oh, right,
adapter
yes.
on my Switch so I can play wired for Smash. So
Yeah,
I'm not one of those Wi-Fi warriors.
Oh gosh, please tell me there aren't any.
Oh, on Smash it's ripe. Everyone plays Wi-Fi. It's horrible.
Why would anyway? Nope.
Exactly.
It's personal choice.
That's a whole different thing.
Personal
that's
choice.
A whole separate issue.
Anyway, so move on to Ciaran.
Same as you, mate. Have you had many issues, many connectivity problems? And actually, as another question, how easy has it been finding a fire team?
And finding one, do you mean like actually?
No, I mean
like
the partnering up, because I didn't even send you an invite the other day. Yet there you were. You appeared in the fire team.
Oh yeah. It's like magic. I'm saying like you can't just straight up join people. I was saying you just go into your little friends thing, press join, you can just straight in.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a good little system because it was something that you couldn't. There are certain games that don't have that, so it's just nice that you can do that.
Yeah, I feel that's also because I mean there's crossplay, so if you had someone in Steam,
right,
you use that game system to join them and stuff. But in terms of like connectivity, my connectivity's been fine. There's been no time where like games like take a weird time to load up. You know what I mean? I think you've probably noticed that. Like you can sit, it's waiting for other players or something.
Yeah,
even though it says everyone's in, and like
or where you're being announced to like the game mode and it goes around the map like 3 times and shows you different areas. Like you're waiting.
I've only had that once. I've not had that.
I've had that a couple of times. Like it's probably just slow internet on other people's Wi-Fi's, you know.
Yeah, but would you call it? No, I've been fine. The only thing I've noticed is like I was playing like ranked and my teammates. Well, like it's almost as if like I was out of sync with the team. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so.
Yeah.
Enemies were fine. So enemies were moving fine. And I could shoot fine, and hit detection was all right and everything. And I wasn't jumping about the place. I was smooth as butter myself. But then when I look at my teammates, they're not like jumping about as if there's some glitch, right? But it's that way. It's almost as if like they're like phasing out of reality. If that makes sense.
Right.
Like they're not jumping about the place.
Right.
They're moving consistently. I can see them that they are moving fine. It's just that it's almost as if they're wobbly when they move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really weird. Yes, perhaps Mr. Thanos.
Oh goodness! Oh
is
dear.
messing with it. But that's the thing. It's like everything's fine. It's smooth. It's just like it's weird because like my teammates like characters are like wobbly.
Right.
Again, it's very subtle, and I didn't. It's probably happened more than I noticed. It's just like I picked up on it one match, and I was like, that's weird. But I mean, we could play fine and we won the match, so it's all right. But that's the only thing I've noticed.
Okay, so well, let's go on to the progression system. We're going to have to, aren't we? So I've noticed this online a lot, and obviously you two have obviously mentioned it previously about the progression system. I've obviously said something as well. I heard an interesting point that come up, and I thought I have to gauge this one. So Ciaran, the question goes to you first. Do you feel that 343 is stunting Battle Pass progression to encourage more people to purchase items instead?
Well, that's a question.
Ooh.
That is a question indeed, Pete. I think if so, it's a bit greedy. Considering, right, I was reminded recently because I keep seeing videos, like kind of meme videos, people bringing up the multiplayer overview video, and in one certain clip where they say most of our cosmetics will be earnable in game for free through whatever, and I'm like, where is it?
Cool.
Yeah.
Where is it? You know, and I know already because I was on. I went on Reddit to check this post it myself, but I saw this video because someone data mined the files and found the kind of upcoming store cosmetics that are coming up and their prices. So, basically, you've maybe noticed. So obviously, the first battle pass is Halo Reach themed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Heroes of Breach, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's correct. Yes.
And you do get a lot of the pieces. That's all. It's like the exact pieces from Halo Reach. Obviously, just looks better because your graphics and stuff is nice.
Oh, that
But,
will be why I like this one so much.
Oh
Then.
yeah, that's the
The
one.
only Halo
Yeah.
bits I really liked.
Yeah, but you'll notice looking at that battle pass that first of all, if you're playing for free, you're getting nothing. You're
Right,
getting
you're
if you
getting
if you do not own the battle pass,
Mhm.
if you're not paid for the battle pass, that you're not really getting anything. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like you're getting challenge swaps if you're not getting anything from
Yeah.
the challenge. You know what I mean? You're getting some armor pieces, but nothing valuable really.
Yeah.
In terms of actual armor pieces you do get, you look at how many armor pieces are available for other games at launch, and it's just far more than what this battle pass is offering right now. But the weird thing is, we know that these pieces are in the game. Now, this is something I noticed before I went to this Reddit thing that I'll bring up in a second, because in the battle pass you get armor kits, and armor kits are kind of curated kind of armor customizations
Right.
that you can't change. So you get an armor kit, and then that's how you look. You can't swap out pieces with the armor kits. Armor kits are things. So, for example, all the armor kits in the battle pass are all members of the Noble team. So
Yeah.
you've got Carter, you've got Jun, you've got Emil, Kat, and George. You've got all of them as armor kits, and they've got their pieces. But the one thing I noticed was they've got armor pieces from Halo Reach that you cannot actually get in the battle pass. Something can. Does that mean we can't use them then? But then this is where the Reddit post comes in, because in the data mining, people found that, for example, certain shoulder pieces, chest pieces that are part of these will be coming to the store as part of their own bundles.
Kylie, stop
So-
mucking around with your background whilst we're doing this.
Shush, I'm
So,
listening.
so if you want to get, say, that kind of big, that kind of cool looking shoulder piece
Right.
that Carter's got in his armor kit, that'll be coming out as a bundle, I believe, that costs $10 plus. I don't know the transfer rate here, but basically the person that was showing off, they put them in sections. So stuff that costs $5, stuff that costs 10, 15, and 20.
Right.
And the armor pieces tend to be 10 or above because
Okay.
they come in bundles or packs. You look at obviously the first event as well. We need to talk about that because the first event,
You mean
I just don't know what
Fiesta?
they're thinking.
Fiesta?
I don't know.
It's the Fiesta one.
Yeah, so that's samurai armor one.
I look.
I like that.
Full disclosure, I love the armor set. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's just
It takes so
You
long
can't-
to get.
you can't get anything for it. But that's the thing, you can't get anything. At least you won't be able to get anything useful until February.
Yeah, I'm very confused
it's
by
so
that.
dumb because
So what?
reference the way it works, right? Where the battle pass you level up to XP with the special event pass, which I'm assuming there'll be multiple of these event passes because there's different events they've got planned.
What I saw there were 3, wasn't there? There's one, none now, then another one in a month's time, and then another one in another month's time.
Yeah,
after
there's
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's they're periodic, but the big thing with this is right, is people are like, oh, hopefully if they play enough, hopefully we'll get the full
Yeah.
assortment of items available in this pass. This thing only lasts a week. You can only get 7 levels of this
Right.
event pass done in a week because the way it works is obviously as I was saying, I've done all my weeklies in the one night this week because I really wanted to try and get through. It's not XP based; it's based on the number of event challenges you do. But because they're weekly challenges, obviously weekly challenges only refresh weekly.
Exactly.
So you can only get 7 event challenges this week. Meaning you can only get 7 levels of this pass in a week. So you can't. So it's, even if you wanted to, you could not get every reward in that pass.
Right.
The next time this event comes up is January for a week, which will probably be another 7, and then a last time in February, right? But then that raises an interesting point because if you're only able to get 7 levels a week because of how the system works, there's no possible way for you to unlock all 30 rewards because
No.
obviously 7 plus 7 plus 7 does not equal 30.
21.
Exactly.
Thank
So you're missing out on 9 rewards. And those last 9 rewards are arguably the really cool armor pieces, like that kind of demon helmet thing you can get.
Yes,
thing,
yes.
you know?
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's making me think, what on earth are they thinking? It doesn't work. The system doesn't work. You can't get the stuff. It's that way, like, as much as, you know, have these on the same playing field here, like, if people want to play the game more to get this stuff, they should be allowed to do that. If you want to play the game more and be able to unlock all these
I agree.
rewards in the 1 week,
But
you should do that, and you should be allowed to do that by playing. But at the end of the day, the way the progression system works overall is you're not being rewarded for playing, you're being rewarded for doing what the game tells you to do.
Right.
And that's something that I took big issue with, because I do excellent in most of my games. I get like some great kills and great KDs and stuff, and like I'm not getting rewarded for performance.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I know that's a very elitist way of thinking about it, you know. But
it's
like,
a fair point.
but at the same time, people that play the game more often should be rewarded for dedicating more of their time to the game.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah, Kylie, you.
Well, I was really just gonna say, like, I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of basis to base all this on, but I am gonna bring up Fall Guys, which I know our audience is gonna go, oh. But Fall Guys progression is exactly this, which is that the more you play.
You saw that live, people. She done research.
Shut up.
Carry on.
But Fall Guys is very much the more you play, the more you earn, the faster you get. And yes, Destiny, go ahead, mark me down. I don't care.
Number 9.
It's very much the same. In fact, I would argue, I mean, I don't have a lot of basis for this. I just have the games that I play. You know, in fact, Brent, if you want to weigh in for Warframe, do that as well. But when it comes to
Rocket League has a similar system. You play more, you get more.
Right. I feel like this is a very almost punishment. I mean, some people might see it as a level playing field, because yes, if you take a player like Ciaran, who's very, very good, and you take a player like me who's just doing it for fun, and we both play the same amount. See, yeah, not even talking it out loud, Ciaran should be rewarded more for...
Well, yeah, I was going to say as well, you should probably be rewarded for, like, if you have more time and you want to put more time.
Well, that too, absolutely. Yeah.
But if you don't have a lot of time, then you should get rewarded for what you're doing there and then.
It's that way that progression system right now is demanding of your time if you want to actually earn anything at all. But that's unfair in people that are working like 9 to 5, 5 days a week, that like can't. I don't necessarily want to dedicate like 3 hours a night to try to get challenges. That brings me on to something else, because at the same time. Oh, what were you going to ask? Because I was going to
say, I was just going to bring up someone like Mike, Overlord Mike, who has a family, works a 9 to 5 job, is only able to jump on Halo for about an hour at about 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
How is he going to? How is someone like him or someone like me or Kylie, who only play it for an hour at pop, for a couple of times a week?
I'd play it more if I liked it more. Don't forget that.
It's that way as well, right? Though this is where the issue comes in, because this battle pass or this season is lasting till May. That's the first problem. It wasn't meant to. I think it's maybe like usual, like a season's like, and games are like usually 3 months.
Yeah.
But see,
obviously, I think I can't remember. I think they explained why they extended it, but the whole point is, I think that's the issue they put themselves in now, where if they let people complete everything in like the first month or two, then what are they going to do after? But I know, like,
I still play Destiny.
Games aren't all about progression, but progression gives you something. A sense of reward from it. You know what I mean? But so I think that's why the 343 really need to be careful with how they adjust the leveling. Even introducing even just a character level, you know what I mean? And then that's how they can finally introduce earnable rewards, you know what I mean? The thing they promised with being in the thing. Yeah. Add in a character level where it's got rewards on its own, you know.
Okay.
But funnily enough, when they changed the system, I think they actually changed it the first week or two.
It was very early, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they've even adjusted it that much.
Not for us.
I said the night before that happened, I said to my friend, I said the one thing I think they literally just need to do if they want to keep it balanced enough, and again to make people feel that they're being rewarded for playing, is literally make the play one match to get 100 XP a consistent thing. And that's it. And then even like maybe the one thing they haven't done, because they have done that, but the problem is they've reduced the XP you get from completing a match to 50, which
is stupid.
if you've done all your weeklies in a week, you need to play 20 games a day to get a level a day.
See,
and even a quick match can take like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have to play against a good team, you know, so you know you can do the math on your own there, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I think they don't need to change it much. If I'm being honest, they don't need to change it much. I think adding a character level would be a nice thing to add progression outside the battle pass, right? But like, keep the system they've got right now, right? Because the weeklies can be done. I'll explain in a second how I managed to. I feel I'm like giving tips as I'm on the talk show. Here's how I got to level 30 something from
Ciaran's
14 in
Reckies.
one day. But like,
You know, I'm naming the episode something like that.
Ciaran's Reckies.
I just think all they need to do is bump up the completion of a match to 100 XP around 50. Either that or give players 100 XP for a win, rewarding playing well.
Right, yes.
Yeah, thank you. There you go. That's what I was going to say. Actually give rewards for playing the game rather than just, you know, if you win, you earn more, even if you...
Right.
That's how it was in the Master Chief Collection. You got XP for playing.
Well, that's how it is in lots of battle passes. If you win, you know, if it's multiplayer and you win, you get more.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I mean, that's incentivizing people to actually play better as a team as well, which, as we've all said, is a problem along a lot.
It's like it with Rocket League. Like, you score goals, you're going to get more XP. If you assist more, you're going to get more XP as a result of it. Get man of the match, you'll get a lot more XP, you know? It's how a live service game probably should work, but they're not sort of allowing that. They're stifling the progression for whatever reason, and I still can't work it out.
But again, I'm talking from experience because I've played Destiny, and like I know that I can complete a Destiny like season pass in like the first few weeks. You know, if I because the start of a season Destiny is always exciting. You know, it's always exciting in Destiny. But I'm at a point with Destiny now where I'm probably not going to play Destiny till Witch Queen comes out. If I'm being perfectly honest with myself, I might get the 30th anniversary pack for the dungeon and stuff. But like,
I'm getting it.
I've maxed out all my characters in Destiny. I've got the weapons I want. Like, there's nothing for me really to do just now, really. So that's why I'm not playing Destiny right now. And that, I think that's what they're thinking about with Halo, because if they let people complete this stuff so quickly, then what's the point in playing after that, except for just casual fun, you know? But then there's people that have more time in their hands, you know, fair enough, if that's what you want to do, spend more time playing that, then what are you getting from dedicating your time to a game that's giving you nothing from playing?
Okay.
I suppose that's where ranked comes in. Like, that's what my mate was saying to me. He says, "Oh, well, if you're feeling that you're not getting anything from playing, play ranked, because then you're getting rewarded for playing well." But no, I think the only XP changes they need to make is, again, give you 100 for wins, 50 just for playing a match.
Yeah,
right?
I can see. I get on board with that.
And then even just an extra daily challenge, like, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Even just that, like, every day you pop on, like, give you another daily challenge, it gives you an extra 100, you know, get you that extra little boost to the next level. You know, because I think it's so simple. It is so simple how they can fix it. Make it just feel better.
Yeah.
You know.
One of the things, Kylie, go on. You carry on. You might have a suggestion.
Just popped into my head. What Halo multiplayer right now is for me. Again, just my personal opinion. It is basically Mario Party for me. It's a party game. I'm just saying, like, I have no desire to play it outside of playing it with friends.
Okay.
But again, that's just me.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I'm thinking in terms of the progression system is have your challenges where it's focused on a weapon or focused on a particular challenge. But also have a set of challenges that are based around an objective. So capture
in
capture flag mode. Or
that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of the challenges this week anyway were like return the flag 3 times.
Yeah.
So that's good, because then that's you actively looking for when your team's flag goes, and you need to make it. It's forcing you to defend it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's making you. So there is objectives in the game right now
Yeah, that's what I mean. But actually
what you could play.
actually tier those challenges and give like rewards based
Oh,
on the
definitely,
challenges.
Yeah.
definitely.
It's like the team-based objectives is telling you to do, and it will say if you do this kind of team-based objective, I'll give you XP, and
Yeah,
that's fine. They're there. It's just,
yeah. We need the extra stuff to just for a
but
win,
I think another
for a
problem is that
complete or anything like that.
I think another problem is though that you can't specifically decide what mode you're playing.
No,
So
that's
Right.
true.
I remember the first week I was so annoyed because I had to I had to capture a flag. I didn't get matched in a capture a flag game for like 15 matches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's
So I'm
that's
hoping
annoying.
that by the time full release comes out December 8th, there actually will be a kind of like matchmaking thing where you can decide what modes you want to play, like a
Okay.
Master Collection has, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. And
Anyway,
then the last note in the XP stuff, right? So I started in level 15 of the battle pass on Tuesday at reset. So how I worked it was I saved an XP booster. Right, this is the tips coming in.
Oh,
I
here
saved an
again.
XP booster from the previous week that I got from leveling up the battle pass. I activated it, and then by the time that was finished, I'd leveled up enough to get another XP boost,
Oh my
which I
goodness.
triggered again. Done more weekly challenges. To which point I got to another stage where it ran out, but I unlocked another one. Lo and behold. So I used 3 XP boosters in the space of 3 hours, and in 3 hours I completed all my weeklies. With the exception of the very last one, which gives you like 400 XP. That's like the very last one you need to do when you've done everyone else. And yeah, I'm now level 31 from 15, so I've went up 16 levels.
16 levels, yeah.
16 levels in
Level
a day,
3.
essentially. Now, obviously, that requires a high level of optimization and sweatiness.
Dedication.
Let's say, like as I'm saying, I was playing games in a way that I was seeking to do these challenges.
Mhm.
I was winning. I mean, the fact that this week a lot of them were oriented around Fiesta.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
that I could just play Fiesta and still get them. You know, I think
Yeah.
some of them were like just play 2 games of Fiesta. I'm like, fine, that's
Yeah.
easy. Get 300 XP for that.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's fine.
Mm.
But it's that way, you know. It shows how easily you can level up. That's the thing. That's like the paradox that's going on here with this, because I know if I do the exact same for the next few weeks, I can like max out this battle pass without spending a penny. Like probably by the end of December, if I dedicate that same level of time and I optimize it that same way. You know what I mean? It's the same way I always played a mode that I knew I could get multiple challenges done in the once. Like if I didn't have a Fiesta challenge, I wouldn't play Fiesta. If I had to get like battle rifle kills, I'd jump into ranked because I start with a battle rifle. I'm saying I was like so meticulous with how I played this game to get these things done.
Wow.
But it shows that it is actually really easy to level up. But yeah, it does require you to like specifically focus on leveling. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's not the problem
for me.
Again, if like
Yeah.
I can see maybe why Steve may potentially be worried that like people will start complaining there's nothing to do, because it is really easy to level up if you strategize how you play.
Okay.
You do get a lot of XP in 1 week if you use everything wisely.
Sure. We've had a question come in from Debbie Punk from the chat, and I just want a one-word answer from both of you on this one. Do you think that they're just holding back on progression until the full release?
Full release.
No. Why with full progression? It just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
If they have a level system throw it in, considering how big of an issue this has caused in the community for them at this stage, you know.
This is the longest one-word answer I've ever heard.
Well, listen. They're at the finish line. They're at the finish line to beating out Battlefield and COD. It's no hard this year. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
right?
Beating out.
In terms of gameplay, they've beat them. You know, I don't think that's debatable, right? By any standard. I'm pretty sure as well. Even in the esports scene, I'm pretty sure a lot of COD players are raging at the fact that Halo has ranked and COD doesn't at the current moment in time.
Right.
You know, they've done everything right except for progression, which these other games probably do far better. You know, you always feel like you're earning something in these games. With Halo right now, you need to expressly target earning something yourself to earn something, and it doesn't feel right. And I don't know, Pete, if you're going to move us on to the
We are
microtransactions.
moving on because we've talked a lot about the progression system.
That's the
I'm
biggest
very
thing.
conscious of the fact that we've gone for over an hour on nearly that.
Say that.
So I want to ask this quick question. I'm going to start with Kylie first because I think I know her opinions on this one. So weapon balancing. So it's been a huge part of how multiplayer has operated for the series, with Bungie also struggling to get balance correct. We all know about pistols being more overpowered in Halo 1.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
feel the weapon
definitely.
balancing is good this time around, and what would you prove if you could? Just say it. I know you want to say it.
Well, no, I'm going to preface some things. First of all, I really enjoy the Fiesta mode because it's letting me play with different weapons that I would not normally play with because I'm not a dedicated multiplayer player at this moment.
English.
English, do you speak it? I do not. But so far, my absolute favorite weapon in this game is the battle rifle. Now,
The battle rifle is particularly good in this game, I think.
it is so overpowered. It's so overpowered. I love it so much.
Ciaran, hold those thoughts.
It's just so, you can fire from the hip. If you hit a headshot, they go down. If their shields are off, you don't even have to do a headshot. You just shoot. Battle rifle is it. But also, by the same token, battle rifle is overpowered because it kills me in one hit. So the battle rifle, while my absolute favorite weapon so far, in the like showcase of weapons, I also do acknowledge it is incredibly overpowered. Incredibly, and I love it.
Any more thoughts on a particular weapon?
I hate the ass rifle. I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yes. But everything else feels very similar. The spanker doesn't have I just wanted to say that.
No, they knew what they were doing when they named their rocket launcher the spanker.
It doesn't have as much splash damage as previous, because that's what I do. I rely on splash damage a lot, both in this and yes, in Destiny. Mark it down. And
I think it's 11.
I like a lot. I like a lot of the Brute's weapons. They're always overpowered, but in like it's a good balance.
Yeah. That does actually lead into another minor question I had: is how are you finding the new weapons that they've added to this? And
I like a couple of them. Now remember, I did not stick around for Halo 5, so if these weapons were in Halo 5, I'm not gonna know that, and I'm gonna look like a big dummy, but I don't care. The assault rifle looking one that fires just the one projectile, the big metal projectile. It's like a rail gun.
Yeah.
That thing is awesome. Oh my gosh, that's how I keep getting my headshot, or no scope badges, is from that, not from the stupid sniper rifle. I'm just not good at sniper rifles.
Come on, even I've got 2 no scopes and I suck at FPSs.
Yeah, but my no scopes are purely coming from that weapon. It's reload time is very slow, but that's, again, that's a balance. But I mean, overall, I actually like the weapons. I just really hate the ass rifle, and I hate the my melee distance is not as far as I'm used to, and I don't know if that's Destiny influence or the fact that I haven't played multiplayer. Shut up. I haven't played multiplayer Halo in so long, but my melee distance, you have to be right up on them, and I'm also fumbling around for sticky grenades, which is my strat, is always stickies.
That's what she said.
Yes, she did. But yes, if I have to say this, and I really do I want Ciaran's opinion on this, the battle rifle is... Wow.
I'm quite a fan of the battle rifle. Always have been, when it comes to the Halo games.
It's so overpowered, but
I think the last time I used the battle rifle in Reach, I didn't particularly like it that much. So it's nice to have what I feel like is a good battle rifle again, but I might be completely wrong because I'm not a competitive player when it comes to shooters,
Right.
and I'm not, and I didn't dedicate that much time to Halo Reach anyway. So, Ciaran, as an expert, let's say, of the Halo franchise,
What do you
how are
think
you
of the
finding
battle rifle?
the weapon balancing?
I'll keep this brief.
I feel like you're only saying that because I said we were conscious of time.
No, I am. Right, I'll keep this brief. See, to be fair, I don't have too much the same weapons. It's quite clear cut. To make reference to one of the greatest movie lines of all time, I think the banished weapons suck. Right, the banished weapons are terrible. The Ravager especially. The Ravager is garbage.
Gosh.
Like, it's got
Yeah.
a cool little function where like you can drop a kind of pool of like boiling like plasma in the floor,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
does nothing.
No.
It does nothing.
You
Like,
just jump over it
the plasma pistol's garbage as well. The
I
tracking.
hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
I think they've nerfed it because of the strat where you'd have a plasma rifle, take their shields down, just like one tap them with a pistol, you know.
Yes.
But plasma pistol's trash.
Yeah.
Ravager's trash. I'm not a big fan of the what's his name again? The big shoulder thing, the heavy one, the one that shoots a spike, the railgun thing.
The railgun, yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but
is
I
it
don't
because
like
of
that.
the load time, the reload time, or you just?
Oh, the
it's just
reload
not your
time's
thing?
horrible on it.
I just think you need to be so accurate with it. You need to be so. See, because the projectiles.
Apparently, I am.
You moving like you need to be so. Like if you're up close, it's probably easier. But even then, like I think that thing you need to like have good aim.
I did notice that the other day when we were playing Fiesta that you have to be very precise with it.
Because it shoots like an actual like metal spike.
Does,
like the metal spike moves slower.
And there's
than
no
any other projectile
splash
in the game,
damage. There's no area of effect. There's no splash damage. It is.
Oh yeah, because it's like you're literally shooting an iron rod essentially.
I really like that gun. I'm good with it.
I think the Needler still has potential. The Needler could be better though. Like I've had too many fights where like the Needler should have won it. Even just like causing the explosion a lot sooner from the you know when the Needler is that when you get enough spikes in them they explode. Like it works and you sort of have one piece with it, but it's like it takes much longer than usual. I feel.
Yeah, because like Pete actually did a Needler kill the other night when we were all together, but the kill didn't happen until well after. Not. I mean, I think you got like from the grave, but you were dead. You were not like just I died and then he died. No, it was well.
No, it was a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, it's that way. I think like in a gunfight, the Needler can be beat by pretty much
anything. It's just speed. Speed is all it is.
And whereas Needler is a good weapon, like it's really good. Like I mean, there's a whole other thing we could talk about, which is people have found if you custom games Fiesta, you can actually find there's special variants of weapons they're going to be introducing.
Right.
That add new perks essentially to the guns. For example, there's a Needler variant in the game that you can get in custom games Fiesta that has automatic heat seeking. So where with the normal Needler, you actually have to have your reticle on someone.
Yeah.
All you have to do is fire the Needler in any direction, and the needles will fly towards somebody.
That's kind of like it was in Halo 2.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I just think there's like so many little changes they can make to the banish weapons to make them better and more competitive. But then we get onto the UNSC weapons, right? The assault rifle is blessed. I love the assault rifle. I think it's great. I think it's the best because I hated assault rifles in previous games. Right? I just thought they were so inaccurate. The bullet spray was everywhere. But assault rifle
to be too massive on the assault rifle.
I feel it's very massive this time around.
Oh no, I think it's the best. I mean, the same way I feel this is the best Halo's felt in years. I think this is the best Halo that assault rifles felt. Period. I think that's great. The battle rifle, right? I despise the battle rifle in normal casual play.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Because I feel the battle rifle can be beat by almost anything else.
Really? How?
That's a very fair point, actually.
But I want to know how.
The only reason I like using the battle rifle in ranked is because everyone else is using it, so it's a level playing field, right? But with the battle rifle, to make the battle rifle worth it, you need to be hitting your headshots.
Yes, I will agree with that.
It demands accuracy for you to be good.
But it's a one-shot kill.
It's a one-shot kill once you get their shields down and that headshot, yeah. But like, if you're missing your if you're missing your headshots with that thing, and somebody isn't, you're gonna get absolutely annihilated.
Oh, like, absolutely.
It's arguably the one weapon in the game that requires a certain level of skill. I'd say there's I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of guns in the game that have that, but in terms of battle rifle use, in ranked especially, if you are so accurate, if you're bloody Clint Eastwood with a battle rifle in ranked, you're going to succeed.
Right.
Because if you can hit every shot as a headshot, you know there's a medal you can get in Halo Infinite now, if you don't know, called Perfect. And you get that for getting only headshots in a person.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Right.
But you should be doing headshots anyway in multiplayer. That's the only way to do it.
If there's one weapon I think is the single best and most fun to use weapon in that game, it is the bloody sidearm. That sidearm is overpowered. You talk about overpowered, that thing is crazy.
Oh,
you mentioned in Halo 1, the pistol and
that
was
overpowered.
This is like the equivalent. The sidearm,
I think I brought it up, my friend.
Yeah, it's like it can be fired as fast as you can pull that trigger.
Yep.
Right.
And it's got a far range.
Because Halo's like the accuracy in Halo and the aim assist is like very generous, right?
Yes.
Let's not hide the fact that you don't need to be amazingly good to get kills in Halo, right? The aim assist is perhaps a little extreme.
Unless you're on.
Yeah, unless you're on PC. But let's not talk about them. Let's not talk about PC players because apparently they've been cheating anyway.
Oh, I know. I read that.
What the master race?
Yeah,
but
the cheater race.
Apparently they.
But anyway, but because hipfire in that as well, the sidearm's just so good because your bullets will hit as long as you can keep that reticle trained on them.
Yep.
And obviously, if you're really good, you can just get headshots consistently again.
Yeah.
And it's just such a nice gun to use. Like seeing casual play, obviously your loadout is sidearm and assault rifle. I usually probably use my sidearm more than the assault rifle. The assault rifle is really good in a more close quarters setting. Which is why I think like they do need to maybe slightly touch up the range on it. It's why the battle rifle could probably. It's like right I see it like a kind of rock paper scissors scenario. A battle rifle at range can beat an assault rifle, but an assault rifle can beat a battle rifle at close to mid, right? Easily, because you get a person with a battle rifle flustered at a closer range, they're gonna miss, right? As I'm saying, a battle rifle requires certain circumstances for you to be good with it, right? The sidearm trumps both of them. Maybe not the assault. I think the assault rifle can beat the sidearm probably more than it should. But well, I'm probably actually not balances out. So actually, no, never mind. That's fine actually. But I just think the sidearm trumps like so many other guns in that game because of how fast it can fire, how accurate it is, and it's just nice. Yeah, it's exceptional. I miss the old Covenant weapons. I miss the carbine. I miss the I miss the fuel rod. That's not one I miss.
Oh yeah.
Compared to like.
It's
the arsenal. Consider the arsenal available to you in other Halo games. I just think this could be one of the weakest just because of how they feel. I mean, it'll probably feel different in campaign.
Right.
They'll probably feel a lot better to use against AI, right, in campaign, like actual Covenant or Banished now. But in terms of multiplayer, I just don't think there's a lot of viability with a lot of weapons. I think you need to be using a certain few weapons. I mean. You could also get an energy sword and just like camp in a corner and wait for people to come round. That's fun as well.
Oh,
but happens a lot in Fiesta.
But there's potential for these weapons to be better. It's just like requires a few balancing changes. And if they decide to like bring these variants into normal play that I was telling you about, that people have found the custom games Fiesta, which you can I think you can actually go into custom games right now while Fiesta's still available and try out these weapons because they'll just spawn in.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's so much room to improve. Also, on just on a final note on the sidearm. If you don't already know as well, in ranked, they don't give you a sidearm. They only give you a battle rifle, and I think that's because they know how overpowered that thing is. So when you start, the only weapon you have in your loadout in a ranked match is a battle rifle, and then whatever else you pick up. Okay. So,
right.
Cool. So obviously, yeah, we've spoken a lot about multiplayer because that's what we can actually experience.
Right.
However, there were a select few within the industry who managed this week to get their hands on a few hours worth of the campaign. So, have you been seeing the impressions coming out, first of all?
Master Chief, welcome to my tower. That was a great little thing.
Kylie, what was you going to say before this?
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
But
excellent.
I have purposely avoided any and all headlines of people who have played any of the campaign. I don't want to know. I want 100% pure virginal experience. That's it. That's all. There's no more to that.
Let me ask one question that could work still for you then. do you feel hesitant about Halo going full open world?
I go back and forth with that because what does open world mean? We've had an episode about that, because you can have an open world with still linear gameplay, that kind of stuff. I don't know. If there's side missions and stuff like that, I will frickin' adore it. If there's rewards for exploring, which is...
I will... what you say, it doesn't want to spoil anything.
Don't
I'm not saying a word.
Spoil
I'm not saying a word.
my pure unadulterated experience.
And there I was putting this document together, and I said, we will talk about single player, and you decided not to say right until now.
No, you guys talked about it.
Single player.
Kelly,
no.
I mean, to mention here.
I mean,
do you not want to know?
Really
exactly,
and truly,
just to give us some leeway here.
Yeah.
I mean, context clues. I can figure things out. It's an open world.
I mean,
obviously
for
banished.
I'm not talking about the story. I've not seen anything about the story.
Yeah, that's really. I don't want to know anything like that. That's really it. I mean, I know the weapons that are going to be there. I know the vehicles that are involved. I know. I mean, I'm very familiar with the storyline. I just mean story beats.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I just know generally how it looks. How single player is going to look when it releases. That's what I was hoping to talk about.
Oh yeah. No, that's absolutely.
Yeah, Sencho, I see that comment and that question. I'll get back to those in a bit. So, Ciaran, I have to ask you this because someone is, and probably understandably so, staying very much away from the impressions because I think she's already sold on it.
I just want
you were sold 12 months ago, even with that bad trailer.
Yes, I do not hide that. I was so excited. I love message.
No, I think we both were. It was upon reflection we realized that it was a bit
It took
bad.
me a day or two to process and kind of see everyone's thoughts on it, and I was like, all right, I can kind of see where. But I'm so enamored, I don't care.
Okay, so Ciaran, what have you seen so far without obviously giving spoilers? Let's say. In air quotes as possible.
I mean, right. So I'm pretty sure what. So first in the open world thing, right? I'm pretty sure it's Doom-like in the way that every mission kind of thing you do is set in a different part of the map.
That's what
it's
I'm
like different open-ended sections.
Yep.
Am I right in that? I'm pretty sure someone said that in one of the previous I saw. It's not one big world that you travel around.
No. It's what Skill Up described in his video as being. It is an open world, but you have individual sandboxes around it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And of course, whatever part of the story you're at, you'll be in that area for that. Whatever missions are part of that section. I think that's how it's working.
Shall we?
So I guess it's similar to Doom.
In this respect, we will consider it similar to Metal Gear Solid 5 in that kind of respect. Then, how you have a confined mission area, but you are in an open world.
But I think Doom is.
Yeah, there's different things to do there.
But Doom is a really good.
But that's what I was about to say. Like Doom done it well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Doom. I feel Doom's kind of open-ended maps were still very linear. Especially in Doom Eternal, I think the missions I played in Doom Eternal, they were guiding you down a certain path.
Yep.
From what I've seen of Halo, it looks like you have a bit more freedom to explore and just go around shooting people and stuff,
Woohoo!
From what I've seen, and there is kind of side content and things you can do. From what I've seen,
sure.
Different. I think there's ones or rescue this squad and.
Oh right.
And then also I think they showed it in the actual campaign overview trailer as well. You can go around destroying banished bases and stuff.
Yeah, you can.
And that's kind of stuff to do.
I hope that's not like Far Cry 3.
That might be why Sencho made the comment of radio towers.
There's people already making certain comparisons, but
oh no.
but basically it does feel like 343 has sat down with id at some point and they've sat and talked about it because Chief has armor upgrades now as well, which reminds me very much of the Doomslayer and his so it's okay. See the armor abilities online, so grapple hook and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're an intrinsic part of your kit and campaign. To the point where you can change which one you have active, but you also get upgrades for them that you can find around the map and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I think so.
So I'm pretty sure I've seen one with a grapple hook. You can add kind of electricity to it. So when you grapple an enemy, they'll get shocked and stunned.
That's
Nice.
cool.
as you fly towards them, which is quite. So little things, little adjustments to these abilities that make them a lot different from like just the base versions, which is a kind of cool thing. They also kind of showed how things like the threat sensor can come in handy, where especially when there's invisible elites, because the active camo on elites in campaign makes them literally you cannot see them.
Yeah.
So like when the threat sensor, you throw the threat sensor, and like, you just see the outline of them like right in your face, and that's when you scream. But
Jump scares.
but no, it's like so cool how like they've adjusted things to work like that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, boss battles. I think I was unsure how they'd work, but I watched. I think it was Destin Legari on IGN. He done their kind of preview of it and kind of rundown of like how the boss battles in legendary difficulty feel.
Right.
And he was saying like they're great. They're a ton of fun. Specifically, he was talking about like, especially on legendary difficulty, he was saying like he really did have to like plan out how he approach things and stuff, and like it was just a nice touch to the game that you never really. It's nothing you really like think about having in Halo, but like watching the gameplay of it is really cool how they work. The first he shows off the first couple, without story context. Obviously, he says I'm avoiding spoilers in these. But
Yeah,
the first two,
Skill Up was also the same, where he just avoided talking about the actual story itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't say exactly what the boss battles are, because one that's really cool. I do want to talk about, but Kelly, if you do want to know what the second boss battle is, I'll not mention it. But
we won't. I don't want to know either.
Yeah.
So we won't.
But they're like really cool. They require you to like use certain equipment things, to like beat the boss in a certain way, stuff like that. And it's just like the way the rooms are designed as well. Like there's a lot of room for maneuverability in that. It's like I think it looks so good. Like everything they've added to it looks great. Obviously, side content doesn't necessarily look too exciting. It's just standard little things to do. Save these squad guys. Maybe drive them off a cliff and say they're safe now. That kind of stuff.
What do they call that in Fallout?
But no, it's like I think from what we've seen a campaign, it's looking great. Obviously, we don't know what the story's going to be like. The story is a whole other matter entirely.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen of the thing, like I'm hoping the story shapes up to be something quite special. I have nearly had something spoiled, because there has been people that have been releasing certain story cutscenes and dialogue bits.
Oh gosh, yeah.
There was one I watched just because I was curious. It was relating to a certain character that's like popped up in Halo before. I won't mention where, but and I was like, oh, that's cool. So that's the only reason I watched that, because I saw it and I was like, oh, really? Because I was curious about like where this character was.
Right.
Yeah. And then they are mentioned. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw a certain other name pop up, and I was like, I'm not watching that one. Because I mentioned the character's name and then spoiler. So I was like,
okay.
right, I'm not watching that. But I think it is looking really great so far. I don't know what your thoughts are, Pete, from what you've seen.
I'm a bit hit and miss on it, actually. I like Halo campaigns from what I've played of them in the years gone by. Obviously, I haven't played that many of them, but I'm notorious for actually liking ODST, despite not many people actually liking that game for some reason.
ODST was good. I feel ODST was kind of open-ended in its design, almost.
I really liked that aspect of it, and the fact that they're going back to New Mombasa with some of the level design with the multiplayer is actually a good little nod to ODST, and I like that.
That reminds me right quick, because this makes sense. Did you, when you loaded up multiplayer, did you play the tutorial?
Yeah.
Okay, did you notice all the New Mombasa, it was ODST stuff? Yeah.
Of course I did. That was the first thing I noticed.
That was really cool. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was, and that's why I mentioned the New Mombasa map, Okay. But as someone who's not that big on, who does like the campaigns, but has been sort of a lapsed Halo fan, let's say, I heard bad things about 5, and I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to open world sort of games, so this is a bit of a turn off for me, if I'm all in.
Well, again, no, I'd say it's just more open-ended and open world. I think that's how I'd describe it.
Yeah, but you see that term open world like thrown around, especially by people like Jeff Grubb, Skill Up, and all that. Yes, it has the sandboxes involved in that, but just hearing the word open world is an auto deterrent for me usually. It's just not something that gels with me at all, and it's not of my interest. However, I am more interested by what I have seen of this, and the general gameplay does look a lot of fun. So, I mean, it's on Game Pass. I have no excuse not to play it, so I will play it. But it's just, it's not filling me with confidence, you know? Like I said, it's nothing against open world games. It's just I don't gel with open world games. So
I think that's fair enough.
We'll see how it turns out, to be honest. Like, I think people are going to be quietly cautious about this one because of what happened with 5. So they're not going to go into this going, oh yeah, like Halo's fantastic, Halo's brilliant, Halo's this. They're going to go into this going, Halo 5 sucked. So is it better than Halo 5? Well, then it's okay then.
For our audience out there, I've got thick, high walls up with barbed wire around them, and while going into this Halo experience, because Halo 5 really did. Again, there are people out there who absolutely adore Halo 5, and I'm not knocking that. It just didn't do it for me. It really messed up a whole bunch of lore for me, which I'm heavily invested in. So I want to believe, because I'm an optimist by nature, but I want to believe that this is going to put it all right back on track. But I also am very, very cautious, because I don't want to get hurt again.
There were, I mean, I'm not going to mention it too much, but there was something that I saw about a particular support character that they're talking about. I like the idea of it. To be honest, I'm not sure it's going to gel with certain people, and I think Kiley is one of them. It's not going to gel with.
Don't give me too much. I'm unfortunately very intelligent in that area, and I can put things together.
Sorry, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying anything more than that, because I know.
Yeah, it'll start my brain.
There are certain things that you like about Halo, and
yes, would you stop? Because you're gonna like.
I'm not saying anything more than that. That's all. That is all. I think, but I don't know. So just, I'm worried. Let's say, honestly, about this campaign, because I think I've mentioned this before, and I will just mention it again for, layman's sake. If they fail in this one with the campaign, I think they're done. I think they're done with Halo.
I do too. Or they'll have to take like a 10-year break or something.
I think this is make or break in terms of 343. I think at this point, if this campaign is not reviewed well and is not successful, I think you could see the way going, the line being opened up towards Bungie again.
Well, okay. Okay. We need Ciaran's thoughts, but I was going to mention something. Anyway. We need Ciaran's thoughts on all of this.
Campaign, yeah.
I don't agree with that statement. This is make or break. Considering, because honestly, from what we've seen already, 343 have made an incredible game. It plays exceptionally well, just from multiplayer.
Okay.
Right. That's the one thing of campaign will know how it plays.
Okay, so let me preface this one just briefly, because as an outside Halo fan, I can't say from the narrative in terms of 4, in terms of 5, what they were. I'm going by literally 343 as an institution taking over Halo after Bungie. Their only success so far, technically, is Halo Anniversary.
I think probably Halo
because
Wars.
They didn't make it. 343 didn't make it. It was Creative Assembly.
Oh.
Or someone along those lines. Yeah. So 343 have made Halo Anniversary, Master Chief Collection, 4 and 5. 5 is not seen very well by most.
I really liked
4 is hit and miss for most.
But from what I understand, they were working with Bungie's notes and stuff on 4.
They probably were. I
like 4.
But Halo Anniversary came out very well, and it was a good start for them.
Yep.
But Master Chief Collection came out in the most horrendous state, and was in a horrendous state for at least 2 years.
Yes.
That's what I mean by make or break. Their reputation has been severely dented by their missteps, and I say missteps with Halo. They're not errors, they're not catastrophes, they are missteps to Halo fans, I think.
But see, I'm thinking more on the present when I look at this, because currently we have the game in our hands, and I'm thinking to myself, I mean, even just the Academy tutorial thing. You know, I think the Academy tutorial was a lovely
very
little
well
bit
done.
bit of story.
It's very, very well done. I really like that.
It's a nice thing, and I really hope that this is the beginning of them opening the door to Firefight, because boy, I really want Firefight back. And but then again, the fact that campaign co-op and Forge are the only things mentioned that aren't coming for like months suggests to me we probably won't get Firefight for a while, which is upsetting to me. But who knows? They may surprise us. They may surprise us in like the same way they brought out multiplayer. They might say, "Oh, we've actually finished Forge earlier than expected, so here you go." And now prepare for Firefight to come in, because that's the one thing I really like. As much as I like Halo multiplayer and I like the campaign, one thing I always love about Halo is like feeling part of the world. I think that's why I think a lot of people like Reach, because you were essentially the protagonist in Reach.
Right.
You were part of that story. You were the your Noble Six.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, but there was an unfortunate side, and this is Bungie's problem more than anything, is that set up within the lore, you knew how that game was going to end.
Yes.
Doesn't make it any less harrowing, but you did. It's sort of like that situation. Is like you started at the very end of the film, and then you go back to where they were. It's like you already know they're dead.
Well,
but I think that's good though, because like, I think that's an exceptional way of writing a story, because that's something I talk about in my own classes as well. Like, and look at for anyone that's listening or watching, I don't know if you've seen the animated series Invincible on Amazon. No. Invincible does that so well. It gives you something big that happens, like a big revelation happens in the first episode, and then it doesn't explain why the thing happened until like the very end. And it's like, it makes you watch it because you're like,
how Umbrella Academy
I want to know what's happened here. You know, I think engaging your audience in the story by revealing something to them that the characters don't know is a great way of telling a good story. Engaging audience.
Umbrella Academy did that too.
Okay, well, ever since Halo Reach came out, movies seem to do this a lot more. It's become a bit more of a trope now.
I
wouldn't even see it. I wouldn't even see it.
It was Pulp Fiction that started all that.
Yeah, I'm saying since in terms of games, like Reach has done it. You know, there are movies that have done it all the way through there. But you look at things like Sonic, it does that straight away from the very start of the film. It is one of those things that filmmakers like to go, look, we're at the very end. Oh, here's how I got here.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, exactly my point. My name is Elle.
Deadpool did it too.
We won't mention Deadpool. It sucks. So yeah.
What were we saying? I was gonna make a point. I had a point.
Campaign.
I had a point related to. No, it was related to Ciaran's point.
Brain. About Firefight and about having something where you can feel as though you're actually participating in that universe.
Yeah.
That was my main point about why I like Firefight. I think Firefight's great for like.
Well, like it was just a brief aside, but see, it was always funny to me when I heard that Reach was coming out when it was in development and stuff like that, because Reach, the Fall of Reach, the book, had been out for years at that point. Yeah. And I had read it. And so for me, it was like, why are they making this game at all? Because I know how it ends. And then that's what like a lot of people in the community were like, we already know how this ends. What is this? Why are we doing this? But then it turned out to be a pretty solid game, actually.
That was exactly the point that I said. It's sort of anticlimactic in that respect.
Right.
You already know how it ends. However, not everyone was massively involved in the Halo lore, like, let's say, all of us.
Well, because that's the thing.
As someone who's not that much of a Halo fan, even I knew about Reach.
I get,
but even then, I don't think it's a matter of like, knowing the story reduces the effect of the ending, because at the same time, it was sad. That is such one of the saddest things.
No, if you remember what I said specifically, and I could bring this up in post edit as well, I did say it didn't make the ending any less harrowing.
No.
Right. Okay, that's true.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
not to say that it's you know how it's going to end, but it's the journey in which you get there. It is a very distinctive way of telling a story.
It was the friends you made along the way.
It was
That's
the
what it's
best
all
of
about.
times. It was
It
the
was
worst
very.
of times.
I got you invested in all these characters. Only.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like my boy George.
I don't want.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that's going to cover us for the Halo chat because I think we've covered all bases and without going into any potential spoilers about the single player. So I actually didn't realize that you didn't want to know anything previously, so I wouldn't have mentioned single player if it had been.
No, I don't want that to come across like I'm like no spoiler. No, I mostly mean story beats.
Yeah, well, there wasn't really any story beats ever really told in these impressions. That was the good thing about it.
At least in the professional previews.
Yes.
Let's like again, as I said, I've seen things on YouTube. People have been like loading stuff.
But
so I would be careful.
I've been running.
But bearing in mind,
running away from that. But
I was going to say, bearing in mind that game's gone gold now, so it's probably It might be the game starting to leak through into certain retailers.
This is a weird, dumb thing, but I like weird, dumb things. When Halo was originally announced, and we're talking way back, I was like, was it the 97 E3? We're talking.
When it was under
back.
When it was under Apple, I think it was, or it was CES actually.
Maybe it was that. It was a very because
I think that was preface. I think that prefaced E3, didn't it?
I think so, actually. Yes. Anyway,
in Las Vegas as well.
It was in Las Vegas, so it must have been CES. So the first reveal trailer shows like this thriving wild ecosystem, and wildlife was supposed to be like way important and stuff. And then when they went to actually make Halo, obviously it was just too far. That was too far technologically advanced, and then by the time we got to Halo 3, we had the secret hidden gorillas. I don't know if you'll ever find them. They're really funny. There's family
tell me
gorillas.
after. No, tell me after. I want to know. I don't want to take any more time up.
Okay, and then but they had this like type of chicken or whatever in the original one, and these like really dinosaur looking things, and now here we are, 20 years later. And now we've got a Halo game that has the original wildlife in there. And I know that that's not important to some people, but to me it's kind of like, oh, the original vision, it got to be realized and stuff. I do want to shoot that stupid chicken that's in that stupid map, though. I really do.
Look, I think some of the work that 343 have done on this game so far has... I give them credit. Like, I went into this with low expectations, and I've come out a little bit more excited than I thought I was going to be about this.
And that's another thing for our audience. I want them to know my dislike of Halo multiplayer is a temporary dislike. It's not a for real dislike. Like, it's not like hardcore. Oh, I hate that. And it's also not a reflection on the quality of the multiplayer. It's a very high quality, good, strong multiplayer. I'm just not addicted to it yet. I'm sure it will happen. Yeah. I have that tendency. Just hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, I will give credit to 343 for the work they've done on this so far. It's
beautiful,
enjoyable to play. It's a good-looking game. I think, barring the most part, weapon balance is quite good.
And also, I do have a major complaint. So 343, I know you're listening. You listen every week. When you're in your team matches or whatever, if they could just make the red outline a little bit bigger and thicker for people like me, because I don't realize that.
That may be something that I add on the accessibility options.
Yeah. I was going to say, even if like you have a slider for the intensity of it and the options, Because again, I don't mind. I'm used to it. I don't mind. I can tell.
I can't because
I know I've seen some people say that like
it can be a struggle at times.
Well, it's because everyone has custom uniforms on or custom armor on, so my brain's programmed. Oh, red is bad. I might have a guy on my team that's red, and they might have a guy on their team that's blue. Yeah, exactly. I kept shooting.
I've been seeing people because I know there's some people out there that like to use the colorblind kind of options to like change the colors. So I see people playing where their team's purple and the enemy team's yellow.
Right.
And it's like they do that just because they want just like the color of it. And I'm like,
no, they actually had a similar option in Splatoon 2 as well. You could lock the colors to purple and yellow.
That's like changing your field of vision over on Destiny. Oh, I did it again. Woo-hoo-hoo.
13.
I think it's a bit more than that, surely.
No, it was 13. I kept counting.
But anyway, you want to check in with chat as we wrap this episode
Yes,
up?
yeah, we will, because there's been a few comments.
Or final thoughts or whatever.
Well, yeah, since we've done this. So Essencho put good old ass rifles and sprinklers. I'll come back to that question in a minute, because it's probably a question for only just me.
It is.
Radio towers for map reveals, Destiny maps.
Oh yeah. Good old Ubisoft. I love that though. I've said this before. I like it when let's say the maps in this discussion are kind of cloudy, and then you explore them and then they open up and reveal their secrets. I don't know why, but I like that kind of stuff.
Like in Fortnite.
Anyway.
Yes, like in Fortnite.
So one of the final comments that we got from Sencho that said they should implement Spore into Halo and let the AI play it to emulate an ecosystem.
Oh, I want to play Spore. I miss Spore.
I mean, if EA still owes us a Spore 2.
Yes. Can you imagine? We'll never have it, but can you imagine Spore mixed with frick, guys, my brain.
Which game?
The game that procedurally generates the planets that you land on.
No Man's Sky.
Thank you. Spore
Do you want to kill people's computers?
Yes.
But that would be awesome.
I mean, it's probably an overpromise that Sean Murray once made.
Oh gosh.
Anyway,
that's another show. Overpromising in video games is another show for sure.
We will cover that at some point. Please note
Twitch,
on the list.
Central says Twitch play. I would play Spore. You guys would be bored out of your head because I would make it look like people I know or.
Oh dear.
Crazy.
I should never allow that on Twitch.
I still remember when I was younger, right? Like 2006 or 2007 or 8 or so, just pre-2010, right?
Oh,
I remember watching like Spore, like creations videos on YouTube. And there always be Evanescence.
Oh my god!
Making them. And then they like wake up inside over like see YouTube like pre-2010. It was so weird.
See, that was my generation.
It was like first-person shooter like highlights as well. Would have like the weirdest songs over them.
Yes.
And it's
that was my
you wouldn't hear anything else other than these videos. But that's like the first time I've ever heard "Wake Me Up" by Evanescence was a Spore kind of creation video. No, you know what it was? Because I've loved Halo so much. It was someone showing how to make a grunt in Spore.
Oh, yes.
And I was sitting watching it, and there's like Evanescence me up inside, fucking playing over. Apologies, I swore there.
Oh gosh! Oh, I remember those days too well. Do y'all remember? Oh, none of y'all won't, but audience might. There was a game. I think it was called.
Thanks,
was it? I think it was called Creatures or something like that. Where you would get an egg, and yes, this was around the time of Seaman. But you get an egg and you would hatch him in your lab, and he would come out and he'd be a little furry creature. I think it was called Creatures. I really do. Anyway, and you'd have to like feed him and get his oxygen just right and stuff like that, and you could make him do like an evolution thing to different things and stuff. I just flippin' love that whole series.
Okay then. Sounds like a weird game.
Yeah, of course. That's what I was into. Weird games.
Anyway, we have one question that has been lingering for quite a while, and I left it aside because it doesn't have anything to do with Halo.
No, it's you. It's a Pete question.
I mean, I don't know, because I of course don't know how long this episode's been going, but I don't know if you might want to answer that in chat after, so the episode doesn't go long.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, good idea.
That's a good point.
We will close out. So thank you very much for listening to this discussion about Halo Infinite's multiplayer beta. Must preface with the beta.
Yes.
And some minor impressions about the gameplay from the campaign that we've seen from various outlets. So first of all, thank you very much for coming on, Ciaran. Do you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
Yeah, just as usual, you can find me on Twitter at the Mcginn, TheEMCGI. On Twitter, and there you can find links to Rapid Reviews UK, which I have sadly been absent from just because I have not had time to write anything other than uni work, and I also not had time to write for my own blog, postplayreview.com. I think the last thing I wrote for that was a review of David Lowry's The Green Knight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so if you're interested in checking that out, feel free. The link will be on my Twitter bio. And if you have not watched Arcane Season 1 on Netflix, please do so. It is...
Stop promoting other people's stuff.
But I gotta second that. I'm really shocked.
Arcane is incredible. I promise you, it is one of the single greatest series ever.
But I gotta second that and just say how shocked I am, because it is not a series that I would have thought Ciaran would be into. It's my kind of thing. So for Ciaran to say that, don't take that lightly. That's like, actually go check it out. The animation is...
I know, okay, but this is a time to promote yourself.
I know, but I'm just shocked.
So, Kylie, we all know they can find you here every week, hosting the show usually, and where you'll be back in a hosting chair next week.
Yes.
Touch wood.
I don't have any wood to touch.
Where can they find you?
Yes, if you're out there traveling the wide expanse of the internet, I'm going to avoid chat right now because it'll distract me. You can find me and my nonsense, my abstract nonsense, over at KILEYTHGREET on Twitter. And then I'm just kind of chilling on other stuff. I don't know. Just type in Kylie Yellick and you'll find me.
102 episodes and you still nearly can't get your Twitter handle right.
I know. I forget things. I don't have good brain. But we do thank you for joining us. But I'm going to let Pete take over. I'm going to let Pete go back over. Okay.
But if you want to find me, don't know why you would, but hey, if you do, if you happen to stumble across a Twitter profile by @PeteBeckett1, then you'll find some random nonsense about games, sarcasm, and just being a general pain in the butt. But with that said, we are going to close today's episode. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for the audio bye there. Thank you.
Ciaran just went quiet. I was waiting for stay classy.
I mean, Kaylee didn't say anything, so I didn't know if I was to say something.
I said bye.
Oh, it didn't come through on my end.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
Aww.
Brilliant.
That makes me sad.
Why did you think I said, like, thanks to the lack of an audio buy on an audio format?
Yeah. No.
Thanks, guys. No, that was fun. So yeah, I'm going to go back to some of these chat questions because Sencho seems to want to talk to me about fighting games for some strange reason.
Can't imagine why.
Look, I've gone through nearly 2 hours of talking about an FPS. It's now time for me to script. Yeah.
Cleanse your brain.
Yes. So he had asked, did anyone check out the King of Fighters 15 beta? They had some interesting issues, like accidentally blocking people out of playing without having PS Plus, and netcode issues when playing on different console versions. I did see this.
Of course you did.
Well, I didn't play it. Surprisingly, I did not download. Look, I'll be honest, and I have my PS4 sitting right next to me here.
So loud,
it's
so loud,
paperweight.
so loud.
No,
it's a paperweight.
Paperweight at the moment. I do not want to play the damn thing because it looks. I don't know. I'm just not interested in playing many things on the PlayStation at the moment.
Right.
Because most of my friends are on Xbox and I have more fun that way.
Yay!
So, I do need to get into King of Fighters when it does come out next year. I am interested, but I heard that the connectivity issues was a bit of a problem for most. So I hope to see that they iron that out in the next couple of months before its general release in February. Right, so he then goes on to asking more, where he says, while we're on the topic of fighting games...
Were we?
Yes, Ciaran, look at your phone for the next 5 minutes. You're good. While we're on the topic of fighting games, Happy Chaos comes out tomorrow. There was a sick Project L reveal. Yes.
Project L?
And I'll get to that in a minute. And a Luke showcase for Street Fighter V. What a time to be alive as a fighting gamer. Now, I'm going to talk briefly about this. I did watch the winter update showcase for Street Fighter V. I'm very impressed by Luke. I'm so surprised I was going to be. Kylie, you might, like, if you played Street Fighter, you might quite like this character.
All right.
is an offensive demon.
Ooh, wait,
Demon.
what?
So
I like demons.
No,
They're
he
usually
has,
hot.
Yeah, well, he's not an actual literal demon, but he is
So
a
demon in the
powerhouse.
sack.
Yeah. So he has some very interesting mechanics this time around that apparently are going to play into the next iteration of Street Fighter as well. Very
Right.
interesting. He is the only character in the entire game that has a way of countering throws.
Oh, right.
Yeah, normal throws and command throws, which is very, very interesting. It's not something you see very frequently in a fighting game. In terms
counter throws.
So, Happy Chaos,
What?
I haven't seen anything to do with Happy Chaos. I need to have a look at that.
What did
But
Ciaran say? I missed it.
I didn't hear. Go on, Ciaran, what did you...
I said you can counter throws in Mortal Kombat, but it's not.
Oh!
Pretty sure you can.
Shots fired! I mean,
if I remember right from Mortal Kombat 11, like if you try to throw one at the same time someone's throwing you, you can like shove them off.
That's called a tech. Like there is actually no physical actual counter move to a throw. So you're either like with a regular command, like regular throw, you're either going to tech it or you're going to get thrown. With a command throw, you jump over it for a counter attack or you get command throwed. This, like, he stays on the ground, but a flash of animation happens where he actually physically counters the move.
Give me
That's
a gun.
Oh, right, I see what you mean now. Right, okay, yes.
I want a gun.
Okay.
Just give me a gun.
Huh?
I said
No,
just give me a
Get
gun.
into that, all right? You wanted to know what Project L was?
Yeah. Dare I ask?
You were talking about Arcane. It's the League of Legends fighting game.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
Right, it has a lot of, don't they?
They announced it a long time ago, but they finally revealed it like proper.
That'll be what I saw. I'm pretty sure I'd see that.
Oh crap! It's like Marvel vs. Capcom, and I really freaking want to play it.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that because I'm pretty sure I did see like, what was it called? Project L? Did you say? And I saw that X Arcane, and I was like, oh, it must be some crossover they're doing with some other game, bringing in the Arcane characters.
The League of Legends fighting game.
Hey, okay, that explains it.
They're branching out into games at the moment. They've got like spin-off games that are like very different, like genres. So they've got obviously like MOBA, League of Legends. They've got a fighting game now. I think they've got like a story-based game that's coming out as well. It's weird.
Sincho is.
There's one called Ruined King that's like a kind of Divinity style one. Pretty sure.
The only problem with this is, as much as I want to play Project L, Riot Games are an absolute scumbag of a company, so I'm not
right,
sure.
Yes, there is that, right? But see, honestly, right, like, I'm not gonna fault the product because of the company. Like, see, Arcane is one of the single greatest things I've ever seen. One of creative pieces, it's a creative masterpiece in every aspect.
I do get that, but how do you get like really bad shareholders out of or board members out of companies? You hit their bottom line. It's the unfortunate side of things, but to remove the problematic elements of a particular company will come down to a loss of finance or a loss of income, which will have a massive effect on development studios, obviously, because they'll be the first ones to get fired, which sucks so much ass. But eventually it will get to the very top. So as much as I want to support devs, I can't support the overall company that are going to still profit out of this despite not making any changes, which is why I'm not buying Activision Blizzard games, and also the same with Ubisoft games, which pains me to say because I really want to get Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
I think I just fixed my microphone.
Right.
Live on air. Sincho is that character, also a very strong female who doesn't take boop off of anyone, and also runs her own company, and also does rowing.
Oh, Happy Chaos is the new character for Guilty Gear Strive. Okay. Who doesn't wear shoes, talks non-stop nonsense, and has guns. That's rare.
I would like to be that character. Thank you very much.
And I love the fact that Brent, literally, the Chad himself, just came in during all of this and just went Xbox.
Xbox for the win.
think that's where we're going to finish it out for today. Because there's no more chats.
Well, give chat 2 minutes. I'm trying not to be a control freak, Pete.
But
Happy
you'll see
chaos.
we have to do.
Oh, yeah, you might get Kylie on board.
What?
Apparently, Happy Chaos is very strong lore-wise.
Is it a chick with big boobs and pink hair? I need a new cosplay character.
That's what you said. So there you go, Kylie.
Yay.
So saying, yeah, strong lore-wise. So knows you're into your lore.
I am, very much.
There you go.
I'm the type of person who... Oh, gosh. Okay. So you can... And yes, I'm going to say Destiny again. I don't care.
Well, we're not recording now. It's not funny anymore.
Good. Well, good. Because it wasn't funny to begin with. But
well, I got a laugh out of Ciaran for that one, so clearly it was.
But no, there's a Destiny app you can get that goes along with Destiny. There's also a Halo one, but the Halo one is not as cool. But
companion one.
Yeah.
Companion app.
Yes.
Like that, yeah.
And I sit there before I fall asleep and I read the lore on like each weapon and all of the lore pages, and I am a dork and I do not apologize for this. It's so amazing.
Yes.
So go out there and get the app.
I don't care. I do tease you a little bit for your love of lore when it comes to Halo. But I have said to you before that there are certain games that I'm massively interested in when it comes to lore, even though they don't make an absolute lick of sense half the time. Street Fighter,
right?
I'm still massively enamored with the lore of Street Fighter. I can tell you basically nearly every character has been throughout like the entire journey of the run of the games and films and all that. So we do hold.
A male version of me. He says it's not a chick, and I was like, oh, a male version of me. Maybe I will. Yin and yang, as it goes. A dude with blue hair. But I like the no shoes wearing.
Holy heck is that?
I don't know.
What? No, I'm looking up the character.
I know you are.
Kind of cool. What the heck is that? I'm gonna say is very Guilty Gear-esque character design.
Oh,
very Guilty-esque.
I used to like Guilty Gear. I never played. I'd watch other people play it and stuff. I think we're done now because Kieran's totally checked out, and I'm on my way of checking out.
We'll see because there's now an empty hole part where Arcane used to be. Obviously, I'm not going to play League of Legends, but my friend who has played League of Legends says to me, "Oh, well, Ben, I know you don't like League of Legends or that, but I know you like Hearthstone, and they actually have a League of Legends card game. So just try it out. You can do it on your
my
phone."
gosh!
So I downloaded my phone, and I was sitting playing on my way to university, and now I've downloaded my computer as well.
Oh my goodness!
So this is temporarily filling the void in my heart where Arcane should be. And again, I've got my fingers crossed that Arcane Season 2 will be out this time next year. If because again, what I was reading was that it was announced in 2019, it was meant to come out in 2020, but because of COVID, that's why it got pushed. And the fact, again, that they've got voice lines recorded, which we know from the Season 2 trailer, and that we know it's in production because of that trailer, suggests to me that Netflix has said to them, get on it, start.
Okay. So that's what you've been playing. So when I see that it says currently Legends of Runeterra on your Discord, that's the game. Okay, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I do really like Hearthstone. I've not played Hearthstone well because, yeah. Well, but I'll if I knew one like it. So yeah, my buddy's like, well, you know, if you're needing something to cure your sadness, then maybe check this out. Because again, he knows what I play. But
you know what? I'm afraid to say, Ciaran, and this might be a bit more apt for the Scottish people up there. So I apologise if I'm making a gross generalisation.
Oh goodness.
Sounds like he's a heroin dealer. If this is going to scratch your itch until Arcane 2 comes out.
Deadbeat, is Deadbeat still here? Because like,
yeah, Deadbeat didn't hear the stereo.
This is typical. This is typical English English stereotyping about Scots and Irish. Terrible.
I did
Making us
apologise
out
as
as
a preface beforehand, and it was going to be a gross generalisation.
I love that. I love apologizing before you say something offensive. Not necessarily in this case, but I just mean in general. I'm sorry I'm going to say this, but you're bald.
I'm sorry I made a gross generalisation about your entire nation of people, but you're all heroin addicts. Yes.
Oh, goodness. Oh, dear. All right.
And now Ciaran's sitting there going, and he doesn't even look at me anymore. That's it. He's so horrified.
All I'm saying, Pete, is what do you call it? You're the only person here to have even used the word heroin. So, what does that say about you?
Actually, Deadbeat Punk.
Perhaps you're projecting onto me and Deadbeat.
Deadbeat Punk, you earlier on. Thank you very much. So, yeah, it's fine. I was going to say something else anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well,
yeah, that was it. Well, I might give you some stick about the English, but just remember, I'm English. I am a horrible colonizer. There you go.
Oh, goodness.
All colonizers are horrible, Pete.
And with that note, we will close the show. Close out today.
All right. Well.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
Are you going to say goodbye or should I?
Bye.
Okay.
No,
Thank you for joining us. We love you guys. It's been great seeing everyone again. Very good to have Sencho back. Always good to have Bueno there. I think Brent's just going to be Bueno now forever.
Yeah, he's not Brent anymore. He's just Bueno. In fact, we're introducing him next time he's on as just hi, Bueno.
And it's always good to see Deadbeat and Nana pop up and say hi.
Thank you to everyone. Watches, the usual.
Oh, definitely. But we will definitely see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.